The great American race is upon us. But first, the best in the sport have to duel it out. Drivers fighting for premium spots in the Daytona 500.
Halo. Should've known.
And for some, it's the final shot at qualifying for the big show.
Gonna be a lot of fun to watch these guys.
Drivers eager for the chance to join the greats that have conquered this 4-turn, 2.5-mile high-banked oval.
Gonna be a good one. Some sparks are gonna fly.
Ooh, yeah.
Well,
Tonight sets the stage for the moment we've all been waiting for. The duel at Daytona, here on race day.
10 days ago in Los Angeles, we got one race, one winner, and a clash for the ages. But now it is time to get down to business. And tonight we're going to do just that. 2 races under the lights at the World Center of Racing to set the field for the biggest race of the season. Welcome to Race Day, presented by Toyota, and welcome everyone to our Race Day studios. We are dueling tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And here with me in the studio, I've got 2 guys who have been part of this event many, many times in their careers. Of course, Daytona 500 champ, Jamie McMurray, 2000 Cup Series champ, Hall of Famer, Bobby Labonte. So here's what we know. We know that once again, it is a Hendrick Motorsports front row for the Daytona 500. The 8th time the team has swept the first 2 spots. Kyle Larson out front. What do you think about what that 5 team did yesterday, Jamie?
Well, yeah, I mean, they picked up right where they left off last year. Last year's champ comes back. What a way to start the year, sitting on the pole for the Daytona 500. But it's not just Kyle Larson, it's all of Hendrick Motorsports. They won 17 races last year. For most of the year, every organization was chasing Hendrick Motorsports. And judging off qualifying, they're all going to be chasing them again this year.
Absolutely. Bobby, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm looking at tonight. As you said earlier, we've got 2 races tonight. This is the first for Daytona. I'm so excited because they didn't run last weekend at Daytona, so now we got tonight's races. I think these teams are going to learn a lot. I think there's a lot that's going to happen, but I just can't wait to see green flag and racing start.
Yeah, just in case you made picks for tonight, you can't pick Kyle Larson. He picks him all
Every
the
week,
time.
It worked out well last year, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. After a 2022 NASCAR season, we begin a whirlwind of off-season change. And if you're looking at last year's dual driver programs, you are going to need an update. Here it is.
Are you ready to see some big names in new places? Well, let's get to it. 2004 champ Kurt Busch is on the move as Chip Ganassi Racing closes its doors. Kurt joins Michael Jordan, Denny Hamlin, and Bubba Wallace over at 2311 Racing, while former teammate Ross Chastain joins forces with Pitbull, Justin Marks, and Daniel Suarez over at Trackhouse Racing. Another champ, Brad Keselowski, has been with Team Penske for 12 years. He's grabbed 34 wins and a championship in that time, but is now headed to Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing, where he will be a part owner of the team. So, to fill the hole at Team Penske, Austin Cindric moves up from the Xfinity Series into the number 2 car, and Harrison Burton replaces Matt DiBenedetto at Penske's satellite team, Wood Brothers Racing. And speaking of series movers, Todd Gilliland trades in his truck for a car, piloting the number 38 Cup Series car for Front Row Motorsports, while Ty Dillon returns to the series, driving the number 42 alongside teammate Eric Jones and the newly merged Petty GMS Motorsports team. And lastly, Justin Haley and Collin Racing are both going full-time Cup racing, with Justin in the number 31. Did you catch all of that?
You got it?
It was a lot.
I got that.
Did you
That was
write
a
it down?
lot.
That's where I can.
There's always a lot of change, but I want to know which combo do you think could have the most success right out of the gate starting tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think Austin Cindric. I look at this and I think, you know, he's won 13 Xfinity races. He's was Xfinity champion, and he's taken over Brad's seat, which is huge because what a loss, or what we see, a big change there. So we got big shoes to fill. And so I think Austin is the guy. He is going to be quick. He's going to be able to go out there. I believe he's going to get a win early on in this season. Talk about pressure, but what I've seen so far is he can handle that.
He does, right? He's been in the garage for so long, his whole life, been around racing, and you could just tell that he is seasoned.
Yeah, and so the guy that I'm looking at is actually the seat that left an opportunity for Austin Cindric. It's Brad Keselowski, and I don't know that they're going to have immediate success. I mean, Brad went in 34 races, a championship in 2012, left one of the premier organizations to go over to what was Roush Fenway Racing, has a small ownership role in that, and he's also part of the competition side, so he's going to be a part of the decisions they make. I think it's going to take a little time to get that team to where it needs to be, but I think if you had to pick one guy in the garage to take on that role, Brad is that guy. He thinks a little bit differently, and he's super committed.
I'm excited to see how that team, imagine if they did go out and win this race, how that would set them up for the season.
It'd set the tone pretty good.
It would and allow them to really
start.
work on stuff. We're actually going to hear from Brad a little bit later in the show as well. We've got much more to come. In the last 3 years, at least one duel was settled by a last lap pass. That's a little foreshadowing there. So from here through victory lane, we've got it all covered. Here's what's around the turn.
Still to come, just around the turn, we're breaking down the duels at Daytona. A lot has happened in the offseason, so what can we expect to see from the drivers as they hit the track? And we'll give you the lowdown on the showdown as we give you an inside look at what goes into making your favorite drivers look good on camera. Plus, Jamie Little catches up with NASCAR President Steve Phelps as he reflects on the hurdles the sport has had to overcome and looks ahead to what the future holds. But first, we go one-on-one with the driver leading the field to green. Don't miss it, just around the turn.
NASCAR's best have gathered for the Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum.
We got more bounce in California than all y'all combined. We got more bounce in California. We like to party all the time. We got more bounce in California than the hustlers all reside.
He scores! Goal!
It's a photo finish!
This is off the charts.
From the land where the seasons never change.
When we walked through the tunnel, we saw the track for the first time, and that was just wow.
These guys are going to have to race hard every lap.
Let's get back to the race.
Man, I'm telling you, in real life, folks, this baby is awesome.
Trigger flag. Hey, baby. Woo! Oh, boy. Thank you.
It was a cool weekend. Bobby, did you see Jamie running around that racetrack?
I did.
Quarter mile?
He did. It was underneath a 50.
No, he did it in over a minute. It was over a minute. He totally he ruined it for all of us.
Yeah.
It was a great month in the city of Los Angeles. Yeah, the NFC Championship game, the Clash, and of course the Super Bowl. And we didn't really know what to expect when we went down there, from the musical guests to what we were going to see on that racetrack. What was your biggest takeaway?
Well, first off, it being a temporary track, I was shocked when I showed up how nice the track was, and also just the fact that I didn't know what kind of racing we were actually going to have, but I thought it was really good racing. And I think the one thing that NASCAR proved is that they can put a race on at a lot of different stadiums throughout the country, so we can maybe have a race where somewhere we didn't expect to. But on top of all that, the Clash was more about just racing. It was entertaining. And Pitbull starting that, Ice Cube coming out at the mid-race break, it was a pretty fun. Clint said it in that piece. He's like, I don't know what it's like from home, but from here it's amazing. And it really was. It was incredible.
That's cool. We'll go on a road trip every year, too. We want to do that?
Yeah,
road
that's
trip
a long
to the
day.
Clash?
8 days we were out there.
It was a long one. What'd you think?
Well, I can tell you what, Clint Boyer, he didn't see it. I saw it from home because I didn't get the invite. But now that you said 8 days, I don't think I want to go. But anyway, yeah, it was great. It was a great success. I mean, I love watching it. I think that was really cool racing on a track that these guys never, tried. This is not something normal for them. I think NASCAR did a great job with that. And I also think of what Joey Logano and Kyle Busch. I think, okay, these two guys are on top of it. They're going to be the winners. Sure, they did that. But I think of Justin Haley. I think of a couple others in there that are surprises. And I think of Denny Hamlin didn't run that good. Martin Truex didn't run that good. Brad Keselowski didn't run that good. So what does that do for momentum? So some guys better than others, and I'm kind of worried about that or curious about that. But overall, I loved it. It was a great event.
I just want to see you jamming out to Ice Cube. That's all I want to say.
Do you like Ice Cube?
We could do that.
You can?
do? You like Ice Cube?
I need a couple minutes, but we can do that.
She will sing.
Yeah,
Trust me.
Before the Clash, we asked fans, drivers, and everyone else to share their personal videos from the event so that we could watch how they watched the historic event. Tonight, after the duel, you can see it all. 100,000 cameras, NASCAR Clash Edition, and here's a sneak preview.
This is insane, man.
Hey, Daddy, NASCAR!
Race day, baby.
Welcome to Southern California.
This is going to be spectacular.
Let's go racing, Busch Clash.
Oh, yeah.
Don't chase Africa.
Time to get to it.
Green flag is in the air. Let's get it.
Everybody has been anticipating this moment. Ooh.
Let's go.
I'm going to watch watch it just to see if we made it.
Did you contribute?
I did. I sent some in. You know who else sent some in was Jamie Little, Regan Smith. They were pit reporters on the Clash. You know Jamie probably made it because she did the Victory Lane interview. And speaking of Jamie Little, let's head down to Daytona and say hello to her now.
Hello, guys. How are you? The energy is getting amped up. Drivers are making their way right now to driver introductions. There's a lot of fans out here. But, guys, the dual races tonight, there's a lot on the line for every driver in the field. You talk to these guys. All they want to do is go out there and race and see what their cars can do in the draft. But yet their crew chiefs are telling them, not so fast. Don't wreck this car. We don't want to ruin our Daytona 500 racing car, the primary. But on the back of the field like this, there are a few guys, 4 of them, that have to race their way into the Daytona 500 and finally realize their dreams. And one of those drivers right here, Kaz Gralla. He's with the Money Team this year, brand new racing team co-owned by Floyd Mayweather. So they've got a lot on the line. They just need to beat one car in this field. JJ Yaley, he's another one trying to make it. You know, he's been in the field a long time. And another guy, you guys are familiar with him, the Biff. Greg Biffle, he's with New York Racing Team, another brand new team trying to make the field. He hasn't been in a Cup field since 2016. So, a lot to talk about with him. He'll join me coming up. Now let's go over to Regan Smith.
Well, Jamie, what a difference 2 weeks makes. 2 weeks ago at the LA Coliseum, everybody was calm, cool, collected, very loose, and ready to get the racing season started, even if it was a non-points paying event. This week, a different vibe. The nerves are much bigger this weekend as we walk through the garage and get ready to start this race. You see the cars behind me. Obviously, Kyle Larson, we know he's going to start on the pole for the Daytona 500, but everybody else wants to run these same cars that they're in. The problem is they have to figure out how these cars perform, how they operate in the draft. They need to be aggressive enough to find out what's going to happen. And oh yeah, by the way, if that wasn't enough, we've got the pit crews over here. For the first time all year long, the pit stalls are set up. The pit crews are going to go over the wall. And you want to talk about nerves. Let's talk about guys that have done the same thing for the past 30-plus years. They've hit 5 lug nuts. They're going to have to go over the wall tonight, hit 1 lug nut for the first time ever. The excitement is building. The nerves are building. I'm getting nervous. I see the drivers walk into driver introductions right now. I know if I'm nervous for them, they've got to be nervous as well. It's about to be a lot of fun, Shannon.
Somebody switched Regan's decaf today, for sure. Those guys are excited. I'm excited.
Good energy from the track. Yeah.
Absolutely. You know who else is excited is America's crew chief, Larry McReynolds. You might notice that he's not on the desk with us today, but he is in Daytona. It wouldn't be a show without him. So let's go back to Daytona. He's going to show us one of the biggest changes to the next-gen car.
Well, Shannon, there's a lot of unknowns about this next-gen car as far as on the racetrack, but there's also a lot of unknowns about a pit stop on pit road. The biggest change for these pit crews, no longer do we have 5 lug nuts on the reel. We have 1 single wheel lock or lug nut that goes in the center of the reel right here. Now, the reason they did this, we went from a steel rim into aluminum rim. Now, with just having 1 lug nut per wheel on a pit stop that you change 4 tires, just for the tires, the pit stop should be 2 to 3 seconds faster if you go with all 4 tires. The other difference is no longer do we glue 5 lug nuts on the rim. We have the 1 center lug nut, and it's going to be reused. How they do that is the air gun, the socket has an O-ring and a magnet in it that holds the lug nut coming off, and then when they put it back on, they just use the same lug nut. That's definitely going to change the choreograph of a pit stop. But Shannon, to me, the biggest unknown for the dual race tonight, it's a 60-lap race, 40-lap fuel window. The question is, when do you stop and how many tires do you change?
That is the question. I'm sure Larry will have the answer. And with so much intense competition at Daytona International Speedway this weekend, our very own Jamie Little, Michael Waltrip decided to have their own heat versus sweet competition with a little help from Wendy's. I had to say it like that.
All kinds of friendly race fans. Hello! Everybody's so sweet.
Where are you, Michael?
Jamie, nice to see you, sweetness.
Michael.
Do you hear those cars on the track?
Yes, we're at a racetrack. You got to be intense. The drivers are bringing the heat.
Can I bring some sweetness? It's crazy, but I think we're saying the same thing, but for different reasons. Because I love the sweet.
And I definitely love the heat, Mikey.
Well, what do you think the fans of Daytona will think?
Do you want to find out?
Yes.
Let's go ask the fans.
Yes.
But first, I want to go get a snack.
Ah, I love that idea. Let's go.
Race to the drive-thru. Let's go.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. And coming up here on race day, Jamie Little will be back. She spent some time with NASCAR President Steve Phelps to discuss the big changes in NASCAR and future plans for the sport. And we're going to talk with the pole sitter, that guy right there, the champ, Kyle Larson. What is his game plan for the duel and for the Daytona 500? We will check in with him. What? There he is right there getting mic'd up. Can you hear us? A thumbs up from the champ. We'll see you in a few seconds there, Kyle, after the commercial break. We'll be right back. Back here on race day, and here is the front row for the Daytona 500. You got defending series champion Kyle Larson on the pole. It is his first Daytona 500 pole of his career. Alex Bowman, what am I calling Alex Bowman?
Front row Bo.
That's right, front row Bo.
Pay attention, Shannon.
Sometimes you listen to me. Is on the front row for his 5th consecutive Daytona 500 race. We are now going to head back to Daytona as promised, and welcome to the show the champion Kyle Larson. I feel like it's been forever since we've seen you here on race day. Show us the patch first, because we were talking about this before it's the champion's patch.
Don't cover it up.
No, you gotta make sure you wear that proud. How was your off season, Kyle? Because I guess it was a little slower than past off seasons, right?
It was good. It was good. It was less racing than normal, so I think Caitlin appreciated that. We got to spend Christmas and New Year's at home, so that's something that we haven't done ever, I don't think. So. No, it was fun. Our house is as clean as it's ever been. And then I got to race a little bit the last month or so it's been good.
Well, Kyle, good rule of thumb, happy wife, happy life. So
right.
you're doing the right things. So everyone has a different plan when they sit on the front row at Daytona. Some want to race, some don't. Some go to the back immediately. What's the plan for the 5-car tonight?
I think talking to Cliff, it just sounds like be as safe as possible. I think we want to race a little bit just to learn about the draft, how our car handles, stuff like that. I would love to get a green flag stop in because I feel like with these brakes and tires, it seems like you can go way deeper than before. So I want to get a rep of that. And if things are not crazy, I would love to try and finish top 10 to get some points, but you also just have to take care of your car. So that's the biggest thing, to start on the front row with your primary car. With all the part shortages and stuff, you don't want to put your team in any logistical trouble.
Yeah, so Kyle, congratulations on the pole. Great start to the year. Guys are fast. Hendrick cars are fast again. I want to kind of know what your thought is. Like, so fast, you qualify up front all the time, Hendricks does. You get ready for the race. Are you trimmed out a little bit too much, or is it going to be stable? Or do you have any idea yet how this is going to race tonight, leading up into even the 500?
I have no idea. I don't think any of us honestly have an idea. I never have an idea, though, when we come to Daytona. It's hard to really understand what your car is like because you make single car runs, and it's hard to know where you stand until you get to qualifying. And then it's like, oh, we qualified good, that's great. But now, like, you're a little bit nervous, like you mentioned, because are we too trimmed out to draft? But I think there's just so much to learn about these new cars that we're going to all try and learn a lot tonight and then learn quickly before the race on Sunday.
You're getting upstage behind you, Kyle, just in case you didn't know. We got a little fan club. They're poking their heads out there and waving. We love to see them. Before we let you go, I don't know if you know this, but every single weekend last year, Jamie McMurray picked you to win. He's rolling his eyes right now. He's like, here she goes. Do you think he should pick you this evening, Kyle? I know you said top 10, but what do you think?
I would say don't pick us this evening, but if he wants to pick me on Sunday, I'd take it because he had a pretty good percentage last year if he picked me every weekend.
Well, yeah, because you won every weekend.
Kyle, listen, she needs to understand, you won 10 times last year and the All-Star race. I did pretty good in my picks.
Yeah,
I was trying to pick a winner, Shannon, not just a friend.
That's right.
Yeah, you guys were talking about that when you were away from the studio. I know you were. Kyle, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations again on the pole, the championship, everything, and we can't wait to see you on the track.
Yep, thank you guys. Have fun tonight.
Awesome. Have a good one. Okay, so I know, Jamie, you had said that you heard.
He's so glad to be off of
I know, he's like, all right, don't pick me, I don't care what you do. You heard an interview where he said that he does not set preseason expectations and just can't, right? I want to know what your expectations, the fan, right, the guy who picked him every weekend, what's your expectations for Kyle?
It's going to be really hard for Kyle Larson to duplicate what he did last year. He won 10 races and the All-Star race we just talked about. It's a brand new car. I mean, obviously they're off to a good start, but what Kyle said there was he didn't set expectations to start the year, but check back in 3 or 4 races, and that's essentially where I would be. Let's see, is Hendrick Motorsports where they were last year when we get to Fontana or Vegas, which is kind of the bread and butter of the tracks that we have on the schedule. But Kyle Larson, I still think is the best driver in the Cup Series, so I would still put him at the top of my list on guys that are going to win.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that was the first year that he was working with that organization and was able to do what he did. We mentioned the Champions patch, right? You wore that, came to Daytona just like Kyle Larson did, unloaded as the champ. What's that like?
Well, that's the only thing that we probably have in common is we did that because I qualified 37th and he starts first.
Well, I'm sure he hopes to one day have the same thing in common with you that you ultimately did.
Let me tell you something. I mean, I know that Kyle walked in the garage area this week. I mean, very humble person, great guy, but you have a little bit different pep in your step. You know, I mean, you do know that, hey, everybody around you knows that they're going to shoot after you. They're going to figure out you're the guy to beat. So you do walk in there with a little bit more proud, a little more, your team is excited. So it's a feel-good thing, and it lasts until you win again.
Yeah, well, that could be very soon. I won the poll. I mean, that kind of continues.
It's off to a good start.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so last year was Pitbull, Michael Jordan. This year we've got another high-profile team owner trying to make his mark in NASCAR. Floyd Mayweather. Will his team fight their way to a starting spot? You get a Bobby fight? No, he doesn't get it. Plus, NASCAR President Steve Phelps and Jamie Little on NASCAR's momentum in 2022. It's all right here on FS1. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Race Day, presented by Toyota. Take a look at that. The racetrack down there in Daytona. It is now time for the Toyota team update. Take a look at this. This is where the Toyota drivers will be starting in the dual races tonight. You got Kurt Busch is the lone driver in duel number 1. All of the other guys are in duel number 2. Is that a problem? Like, are you worried about that if you're Kurt?
I mean, I think you'd like to have all your teammates, Shannon, but I think that the way this is going to play out tonight, it'll be just fine.
You think just fine? Well, we'll see how it goes. So September of 2018 is when Steve Phelps became president of NASCAR. And while he hasn't been at the head of the table for a very long time, he has navigated the sport through a ton of positive change while continuing to map out the future. Jamie Little sat down with Phelps to reflect on some of his biggest moments and to give us a little hint of what is to come.
The dawn of a new era. Why now? It's bolder than NASCAR has ever been.
Well, listen, we're incredibly proud. But as I reflect on where we are today and how we got here, it's really this industry that has come together as one that is going to put us in a different place moving forward. Just think about the schedule itself, right? So I think for 20 years, the fans kept saying, change the schedule, and just kind of how we were structured with public companies at the racetrack, it was difficult to do that. We have a different lens now, and the lens is with the fan. What does the fan want?
Something that's very different and unique, especially for people who have watched NASCAR, is the car. Why was that so important for you to bring a completely different concept of race car?
We look at the car itself as almost like a panacea for everything that hadn't happened in NASCAR. There are so many different things that this car does. So you look at the styling. It's the best looking NASCAR car ever, right? Sounds a little cliche to say, but we're putting the stock back in stock car.
The one and only Michael Jordan and NASCAR driver Denny Hamlin are starting a NASCAR Cup team.
Jesse Iwuji, he's teaming up with Emmett Smith. Pitbull being a part owner of the Trackhouse team.
Floyd Mayweather is going Cup racing.
This only adds tremendous value to NASCAR.
I feel like it was just a few years ago, we were all kind of wondering, where are the new owners coming from? You know, as the same owners have been there a long time, what's next? What is the feedback that you've gotten from these superstars that want to be part of this sport?
Well, I think it's a couple things. I think first and foremost, it actually is the car itself and the change of the business model that I think is happening in the sport. I really think if you go back to June of 2020 and the stance that the sport took on social justice, that was a seminal moment for our sport, and I think it was really important, and it signaled to a Michael Jordan or a Pitbull that this place is for them.
When I see trouble come my way.
Michael Jordan's a lifelong NASCAR fan. I don't know whether he would have considered being an owner if we hadn't made the changes that we had made.
You know there's going to be new fans watching. They're going to be watching this weekend for the Daytona 500. What do you hope they take away from what you're doing, the new era of NASCAR?
Just enjoy it, right? This should be fun. You can feel a relevance and a reputation to this sport that is different than it was. We're in a different plane today than we were last year, and it's a different plane than where we were the year before. But because we've worked so hard as an industry, it'll be particularly rewarding to take the green flag at the 500 with that next-gen car.
I want to take a page out of this book right now. We're going to have some fun. Fun? We having fun? You having fun from across the room? I love that, right? That's sort of the motto. Let's have fun. It's NASCAR and it's
I
racing.
Being set up.
No, not at all.
You
got to be nervous. But you know, Bobby, I mean, for years, right? It was fun, but it was the same stuff. And now we're getting so many new things. And of course, Steve Phelps is initiating that.
Yeah, he really is. And you know, fortunately, I got to be around the sport for a long period of time. And yeah, there was weekends or years that we go by. It's like, you know, we could just we're going to go to the same track all the time. So there was no change for many years. So obviously things were needed to be changed. And I know that the structure of the organization and the people at the top and the France family, everybody said, hey, look, we got to do something. So Steve was a great pick. He really came out there, made some big changes, and it just keeps getting better and better. I agree with you. It's a lot more fun.
It's going to be fun.
It's a lot of fun and everything, but he puts everything in the right area and listens to the teams, listens to drivers, listens to track owners and stuff like that, makes it all happen. So kudos to them for making it what they are today, because it's definitely on the right track.
And we are inviting so many new fans into the sport because of that. So there's no question that this season is poised to be one of fun, right? It's a word, excitement, and a lot of change, a lot of cool things on the horizon. All of us here at NASCAR on Fox will be right here enjoying it with you.
Last chance.
You want it? Go get it.
Put the pedal to the metal. Got no savior. Oh my God, guys! Yes! Yes!
Hey, boys. That's an ant weapon right there.
This is what they train for, an opportunity to bust off the fastest pit stop and try to win a championship.
Hell yeah. Holy crap. This is all playing out right. Go get it.
The entire pack is crashing.
We're upside down. Just run right over us. This team never gives up. Yeah. Check up, just check up.
Horrific crash.
Checker flag right here.
It was a merry offseason, right? But now we're ready to get moving in 2022. It is. What are you looking forward to the most this season?
Yeah, Shannon, I think what I want to see, what I'm excited to see, is cars on racetrack on the day before the race. You know, we got practice and that'll be shown, and there'll be qualifying. I love qualifying. And so I think those are things that sponsors, fans will get engaged for the races on Sunday. I think that'll just enhance when we get to the race on Sunday. More people watching.
Yeah, I'm excited about the new car and the unknowns that are going to be associated with that.
Great.
Larry McReynolds hit on a second ago, like the single lug nut. It's been 5 lug nuts for as long as we can, for the eternity of NASCAR. Also the composite body. One thing that stuck out to me at the Clash, we saw guys have side-to-side contact. We didn't see the tire rubs like we've seen in the past. So I think that's going to change a little bit. And then also just which organization hits on it. It looks like after qualifying at Hendrick Motorsports again, but who's going to find what works at these 1.5 miles or at the short tracks and be ahead of the rest of the teams?
Yeah, we can see some of that play out this evening, of course. So the time for Daytona, the first race down there in Florida, is drawing near. There's a 500 champ right there at a new team, 2311, racing for the GOAT. Hey, there's another 500 champ. Yeah. Michael McDowell. Can we get another first-time winner this year, this Sunday? Of course, we'll set the field later today. Yeah, tonight is truly like the first day of school for a lot of teams and drivers, working with each other for the first time, breaking in those new fire suits. Not that guy right there. But before they made the trip to Daytona and even Los Angeles for the Clash, we invited the guys to our annual Fox Sports Hangar Shoot. It's always a good time, and our very own Josh Sims has a behind-the-scenes look.
Back again for the 22nd year of the NASCAR on Fox Hangar Shoot. There's people that have been here since the very beginning. So who better to give you a tour than, well, me, the new guy. Over the course of 6 days, 65 crew members assemble and shoot 6 different sets. It takes hundreds of lights, 25 cameras, and even 130 lasers. Let's check in with some of the drivers.
Those were some powerful lasers. They had a little bit of sound to them when you walk through. Felt like I was on like a superhero set or something.
There's stuff everywhere in here. It looks great. It's super cool. You see all these different sets. By far the coolest screen. You can walk in there and get lost. I need to pay attention to where I'm at. I can't see well anyway.
You mix together the Truck Series, the Xfinity Series, and the Cup Series, and you have the biggest shoot for NASCAR on Fox.
And all the credit, of course, goes to our hardworking folks here at NASCAR on Fox. It's an incredible event every single year. The drivers love it. We got laser beams. We also have the starting lineup for tonight's duel. So, guys, walk me through it, Jamie.
Yeah, let's start on the front row. We got Kyle Larson, who we just talked to, and he said not to pick him, Shannon, but 2017, he was leading on the white flag lap, ran out of gas. And beside him is William Byron, and he actually won his first race here in July of 2020.
Yeah, I'm going to go with row 2. We got Chase Elliott here. He almost won last year. He was just a few feet short of coming up with that victory. He's had 2 dual wins. I feel like it's a good night for him. Hendrick Motorsports can't beat that. Next to him is Ross Chastain. Okay, 0 wins, but yet at the same time, I think he's going to be really fast. That Trackhouse team qualified really well.
Yeah, and we'll go to row 3. You got Daniel Suarez, Ross Chastain's teammate. Great start for Trackhouse Racing in general, having both cars in the top 10 yesterday. And beside him is Daniel Hemrick, the 2021 NASCAR Xfinity Series champ. In a car part-time this year for Colleague Racing, but we saw Colleague Racing was really strong at the Clash a few weeks ago.
All right, we're going to go back to row 7. I got Kurt Busch and Justin Haley. Okay, what's so good about this? Great about this? They both won at Daytona. One a Daytona 500 winner, one in July. I think these 2 guys could hook up, maybe go to the front.
All right, I'm going to move back up to row 5.
You can't do that. We're going to go back to row 5.
I can do whatever I want. I've got the mic
yeah, you're
right.
right.
We're going to move up and talk about Chase Briscoe. Really tough rookie season for him last year, but he ran well at the Clash, so maybe it's a sign of good things to come for him. And then Brad Keselowski had a chance to win this race 1 year ago. Got tangled up with his teammate Joey Logano into turn 3. But one of the best super speedway racers in the series we have right now.
I'm glad you moved back because you set me up.
Hey, you're taking my mojo there.
No,
I had it going.
No, but you set me up here because we're going to talk about Brad Keselowski starting 9th in duel number 1. One of the biggest offseason moves was made by Big Brad, who left Team Penske, a place he called home for 11 seasons, to become the driver of the number 6 and, of course, part owner of the Roush Fenway team that is now called RFK Racing. It was a busy offseason for Brad, who shared some of it with us.
The interesting thing about owning the company and driving for the team is, in most team dynamics, you're not the boss of the team. Although I would joke, once you get behind the wheel, you're always the boss because they tell you to pit. You got the steering wheel and the gas pedal. You pit when you want to pit. It's really the off-the-track stuff where now you have more influence. And you know, quite honestly, I love it. I'm having a blast being a part of the behind-the-scenes pieces that make race cars go fast. Working with the team at a deeper level than I ever have before in the Cup Series is really a thrill for me.
I bet you he's having a lot of fun, and you can catch the entire story this Sunday on race day. Good times. I can't wait to see that behind the scenes. Let's hear from the boss man / driver. Regan Smith is with Brad Keselowski.
Well, Shannon, last week it was, or 2 weeks ago, it was for fun when we were at the LA Coliseum. Brad, tonight marks the start of the actual regular season, though. Now there's points on the line, starting position for the 500. How aggressive do you get with this race car tonight?
Well, you know, we got this deal with my teammate coming down here, and it was really simple. We told Chris Buescher in the 17 car, whoever runs the first race, if they wreck, then you have to run the second race less aggressive. So now that I'm in the first race, he's in the second race, Regan, I get to go as hard as I want. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drive this thing. We've got a shot at winning this race, and we're going to take it.
You and crew chief Matt McCall getting together this year. What's that been like, getting to know each other, working on that chemistry and figuring out kind of what buttons you can push with each other?
It's been good. You know, he's got such a great pedigree over the last few years. He's made the playoffs, I think, 4 of the last 5 years or some stat like that. And, you know, when he became available, that was like, you know, top-notch free agency guy. And I feel really fortunate to have him as my crew chief. And we've got a great season in front of us with the core generators, Ford Mustang. And looking forward to getting it started tonight.
Looking forward to Brad out on the racetrack tonight. Jamie, he starts 9th and said he is going to be aggressive in this race.
Well, it's been a little while since we've seen this man, Greg Biffle. What brought you back? What did you miss so much about the Cup Series?
Well, I mean, I love racing. It's in my blood, and came back in 19, won that truck race for Kyle, and I've been talking to, you know, John Cohen for a while about putting this program together, a couple of years. So didn't expect it to be now, but he put together a good car, good program. You know, small team, just getting started. So I thought, what the hell, I'll come give it a try.
Well, you're in the hot seat tonight. You must race your way in. So what's your game plan for duel number 2?
What's the game plan with a driver? Get to the front, right? So we'll see. I'm gonna try and get up a few rows, get up in there, see how my car drives. Haven't been in the draft yet, really. So we're gonna have to take care of the car, get up in there, race a little bit, find a spot to hang out, and see how it goes.
All right, well, best of luck to you. Greg Biffle trying to make his 15th Daytona 500, Shannon.
Thank you, Jamie. I feel like I got into a Wayback Machine with Greg Biffle. It's just like a blast from the past. We heard Brad say that he was going to be aggressive. We also heard Joey Logano say he was. You want to say something?
No, listen, I just think it's so funny. All we've heard for 2 weeks is we can't wreck these cars. We got to be really careful. And Brad comes on, he's like, I'm going to be aggressive. I'm like, well, what happened to being cautious?
You want to know what happened? They're drivers.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Every time a driver puts his helmet on, he loses a little bit of intelligence. And you see these guys, they want to go for it. How many times have we seen guys wreck at the end of a stage at a super speedway race, knowing that you got to get to the finish to win? But when you put a helmet on, you want to win and you get competitive. They're down now at the driver intros, and all those juices start flowing. Nobody cares about these cars. They want to win tonight.
They're going to be aggressive, Bobby. You buying this?
Well, I had written down in my notes, play it safe. And now I'm all messed up because I think there's going to be so many different agendas out there.
One of you guys are going to get it right. I will tell you that much.
I didn't have my helmet was that tight. Your guys' helmets must have been that tight because it was crazy. But no, I think if you tear your car up tonight, you might feel like, oh man, I shouldn't have been that aggressive. So different agendas. Some guys will play it safe. Some guys probably won't.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I think.
Well, Brad said it. If you're in the first duel and that's calm, that makes you a little nervous when you're in the second.
That's right, because you know it can get a little crazy. Of course, we're all racing to set the stage for the Daytona 500. Coverage for that race begins at 11 a.m. on FS1 and then over on Fox, followed immediately by the Daytona 500. Of course, Tony Stewart is going to be in the booth with Mike Joy, Clint Boyer. Jamie will be down there. It's going to be a lot of fun pre-race and, of course, for the race. 3% chance of rain, so we are in good. 2% has gone down. We are in good shape. There he is, Chase Elliott. We are going to see how he does out there in duel number 1 with some of his Hendrick Motorsports teammates. Kyle Larson, of course, on the pole. We're getting closer to the duel of Daytona. Welcome back to Race Day, part of Speed Weeks, presented by Advent Health. Business is picking up in Daytona. We have an awesome shot of the Daytona International Speedway. Of course, a 2.5-mile racetrack. These drivers will go 60 laps in the 2 duels. Take a look at that. We got to thank our friends from iRacing for this track map. Now, this map doesn't show the people down there right now, but there are a lot of people down there getting ready for these races. One of those people are Michael Waltrip, who will kick things off with his grid walk. Michael, let's check in with you.
I was talking to Noah. There's a different vibe. I mean, this is the duel, but it feels like the Daytona 500 already.
Yeah, it's packed out here, down here in Daytona, the infield. Ton of people here, so I know if Sunday's anything like tonight, it's already emotional, and I'm sure it's going to be a whole lot bigger with the track being sold out. A ton of fans in the infield. It's just really special to be out here with Beard Motorsports and the Beard family, being able to compete in my first Cup race along with my first ever Daytona 500. So really special, really thankful for the opportunity with Beard Oil and South Point. Brendan Gaughan, I know you're not here, buddy. We miss you, but hey, we're locked in. We're ready to go. The energy's up, the vibes are up, and we're ready to go race our way into the day.
All right, vibes up. You ready to rumble? You know who else is ready to rumble? Kaz Grala. Kaz, you just talked to one of the greatest heavyweight boxers in the history of the world. How did middleweight, lightweight, one of the best boxers, doesn't matter what weight he is.
Yeah, that was really cool. We just had Floyd on FaceTime here, and he's ready. He's pumped. He loves NASCAR, and he loves owning a team already. We haven't even taken a green flag yet. So he believes in us. He thinks we can make this race, and we do too. So we got to beat the 55 car. It's going to be exciting.
Those glasses are cool.
Thank you. Night shades. Yeah, these are for partying, not blocking sun out.
All right, let's party then, if that's what you want to do. Let's see what's happened over here at Fox Nation. Check out this car. Landon Castle is here. Hey, buddy. How you feeling? You ready to rumble?
I'm ready to go, Mikey. Thanks for asking.
The Fox Nation car looks cool. How's it running? You feel good about drafting up front?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I mean, we got a lot of Chevys in this race, so hopefully that makes for a good team effort.
All right. Have fun. Let's get one more interview. BJ McLeod, because You got the best hair on pit road, and I love you. I love your attitude. Are you ready to go, buddy? It's fun to be in Daytona, isn't it? The vibe is out of this world.
Yeah, I don't know about the best hair, but we definitely have the best atmosphere down here for a duel in a long time. It's really cool to see the excitement around the sport, and coming off LA last week, just excited to see what happens tonight.
I love it. Could you turn around and let's get a look at that? I mean, Shannon, what do you? I mean, that's
Good
quality
hair.
right there.
Jamie McMurray is jealous right now.
I am. If I could have that in the back and what I got in the front, yeah.
He's jealous.
It'd be a party.
Thank you, BJ. That's awesome. Larry Mack would say, the nighttime is the right time. That's right, and it looks awesome down there. It is the right time for the dual race, and we are going to make our race picks. Maybe that guy will go to victory lane right there, but we're going to make our race picks when we come back.
Daytona 500 winner, come on.
It feels surreal.
Did we just do that?
Everything just went black and white.
Daytona 500, guys!
Boy, I rode that high that day, and it was so much fun.
Don't think that it can happen for so long, and then it happens.
Hell of a job there, driver.
It was like tunnel vision to the checkered flag.
We're badasses, man.
It's the closest thing to winning a championship.
Hell of a job, buddy. Hell of a job.
And it's like, is this a dream? Wake me up.
I can't believe it.
Flash bulbs and everything were going off, and it's a surreal moment.
Wow, someone will have their moment this Sunday in Daytona, and you can have yours as well with Fox Bet Super 6. We are giving NASCAR fans a free chance to win $25,000 of Clint's cash during the Daytona 500. All you have to do is download the app, enter your race picks for the Daytona 500, and you get a chance to win big. Fox Bet Super 6 has given away over $6 million in cash prizes to date, and there will be a free chance to win Clint's cash throughout the NASCAR season. It is that time, ladies and gentlemen, time for our race picks. Jamie, you are up first.
Well, because he said not to pick him,
You're not
I
gonna
am
pick
not
him.
going to take Kyle Larson, but I am going to take his teammate, Chase Elliott. Has won a duel down here 2017, 2018. And most importantly,
Chase Elliott, huh?
I think he has a fast car.
I like it.
Two teammates in this race as well.
It's a good pick. What about yourself?
Yep. I'm going to go with the underdog, probably, Ross Chastain. Hasn't won one
boy,
yet.
that's a good one.
Think about that. But I believe in Ross Chastain. Got a teammate as well.
Yeah.
I think this could be his night.
Clean up victory lane. We'll have watermelon everywhere. Yeah, watermelon everywhere.
That's right.
My pick. Jamie just said, hey, they're really fast.
I think my pick for the 500 before I see the duel.
Really fast. It is that time for the duel. We're going to head down to Daytona, hand it over to Mike Joy. Mike, it is all yours. Have a great time out there.
Thanks, Shannon. I'm sure we will. And welcome to the Blue Green Vacations Duel on FS1. Daytona is the only race of the year where the starting lineup is set in two 150-mile races. Last night, the front row was determined. Hendrick Motorsports Camaro sweeping the front row, Kyle Larson winning his first Daytona 500 pole. And Alex Bowman, his fifth straight Daytona 500 front row start, including a few poles. Great night for Hendrick and for Chevrolet. But tonight, we'll see who fills in the 19 rows behind them in two 150-mile sprints that will set the starting field. Beautiful day, nice crowd on hand, drivers at the ready for tonight's opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise and remove your hats as the Baldwin Middle High School Color Guard presents our nation's colors. Here to offer tonight's invocation, please welcome Chaplain Mackinson Mac Vendome.
Let us pray. Lord, as we gather here today, Lord, we will be amiss if we do not pray for our troops all over the world who fight tirelessly to keep us safe. Keep them safe in the palm of your hands. Lord, we pray for the drivers here tonight who are going to give this race everything that they can. As we cheer them on, let us to remember to cheer on one another as we go through this race of life, that we all must run whether by choice, chance, or circumstance. Help us to know that we are running with you by our side. Lord, give us strength, give us hope, give us endurance for this race that we must run. And Lord, we know that you have been the God of our weary years, the God of our silent tears. Oh, how you have brought us this far along the race. And Lord, we know it's not a matter of losing but learning. It's not about how fast we go, but about finishing. And with you, we will finish, and we will finish well. Let us run this race. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome Allen D. Neese High School.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the boats bursting in, they proved through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the free.
Last night's 42 qualifiers are now split odd and even into half for these two 150-mile qualifying races next. Beautiful day and night at the World Center of Racing, where we're ready to set the field for the Daytona 500. The front row is established, but there are drivers who have to race their way in, and everybody hopeful of a better starting spot than where they thought they might have been when we left here last night after time trials. Hi, everybody. Mike Joy, Larry McReynolds, Clint Boyer with you for this duel at Daytona. All right, driver, it's 500 miles on Sunday. That's where you go to the payoff window. How much are you willing to risk for a good spot tonight?
Well, enough, right? This is the first time that they're going to feel enough cars in a draft that you get a sensation of that air. How your hot rod's going to handle in that air. So you're going to have to put it in some of those three-wide scenarios and do those things, because that's the practice session you're going to need for the Daytona 500. But shake a little rust off as well. Need to listen to that spotter, get in sync with him, because you're going to need him as well.
Well, not just the driver. How about this race car, Larry Mack? It's a brand new car from stem to stern, and it's never been raced at these speeds. What don't we know?
Yeah, I need to know how this thing's driving, because I have very few pages in my notebook with this race car. But the biggest thing, a lot of unknowns on pit road about pit stops. We no longer have 5 lug nuts. There's one, and even though these pit crews, they've been practicing all winter, this is the first time they're going to make a pit stop in a competitive environment. There's a lot of anticipation about this first trip to pit road.
Wait a minute, Larry. You mean to tell me, out of all the things you have to worry about in a new car, we worried about 5 lug nuts. Now you're worried about just 1?
This man knows if I had 0 or 10,
no chance.
I'm a worrywart. What can I say?
Well, I'll leave it to you folks to figure out which one of these two is more nervous about what's about to unfold. There are the new center lock wheels, the single lug nut that the pit crews will deal with in race condition for the first time tonight, as the drivers will have to find out, how do these cars work in the draft? How do you pull out and pass? Can you pull out and pass? Is there a side draft? So many questions. Hopefully, we'll be able to find you the answers as these races unfold. Let's return trackside.
And now, race fans, here to say the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome Blue Green Vacations Executive Vice President and Chief Sales and Marketing Officer, Dusty Tonkin.
Drivers, start your engines.
If there is one thing familiar to these drivers, it's these engines. That's the one thing on the new generation car that has not changed. 2 150-mile races that will set the starting lineup.
You ready to roll tonight, boys?
Green flag.
Here we go, boys.
There can't be any mistakes.
Oh! Holy crap. That was just fantastic.
Expect the unexpected. This is one of those nice surprises.
Welcome to the jungle, boys.
Take your right rear. You're good to the bottom. Pulling out of line.
Crossover to the bottom.
And he's bringing a lot of company. Go, 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 go.
Oh, it's exciting, often unpredictable. Duel at Daytona. And race number 1 has rolled off the starting grid. 11 rows deep, half the Daytona 500 field. And this will set the inside lane for the starting lineup for Sunday. Let's go all the way back to row number 7 and visit with a past 500 winner.
Let's dial up old Kurt Busch. How about you, Kurt Busch? It's Boyer up in the Fox Sports booth. You got us?
I got you, Boyer. Man, don't let anybody on my radio.
I hear you. All right, Cowboy. Risk versus reward. What's your plan here in this duel? All right, you gave me trouble, Kurt. You got to push the button to talk. Push the button, then talk. What is your plan for this first duel, Cowboy?
You were in and out, Boyer. I didn't quite hear you. We got our work cut out for us. We're the lone Toyota, but man, we've had a lot of fun with 2311 building this team up during the off season. Monster Energy's been on board. McDonald's got a new guy with money lines. So much fun seeing the power and the energy building up with this team. Now it's race time. This is the fun part. Billy Scott's done a great job to get us to this point.
All right, man. Hey, I appreciate your time. We're going to be watching. Looking forward to seeing you move up through the pack. Good luck.
Let's have a look at the starting grid presented by Blue Green Vacations. Front row, Team Hendrick and Chevrolets for Kyle Larson and William Byron. Row number 2, Chase Elliott, the 2020 Series champ, and Ross Chastain, also in Chevrolets.
Yeah, back in row 3, 99, Daniel Suarez, top 10 in 3 of his 5 dual starts. In the 16, and Daniel Hemrick, the 2021 Xfinity Series champion. Row 4, Ryan Blaney, the 12 car, won the duel in 18 and won here back in August. The 8 car of Tyler Reddick. RCR has 16 duel wins.
Here we go, row number 5, Bad Brad Keselowski in the 6 car. Surprisingly, has never won a duel. And on outside of him, number 14, Chase Briscoe, 2021 Rookie of the Year. Row 6, Austin Dillon in the 2, the Deuce this year, and Eric Jones in the 43.
Kurt Busch is back in row 7, the only Toyota in this race, along with Justin Haley, who won here in 2019 in July. Cole Custer, the 2020 Rookie of the Year, with rookie contender Todd Gilliland. Fords complete row number 8.
Yeah, back in row number 9, Noah Gragson. He knows he's going to race. He's locked into the 500 at least on speed. And the 77 Landon Castle, his first dual race since 2019.
And guys, honestly, these 2 rows, this is where I'm going to be watching this duel. Kaz Grala, the number 50, he's going to be going to the rear, but you've got BJ McLeod in the 78 car. Here's where the juice is. The 55 of JJ Yaley, him and Kaz Grala, that's where the race is in this duel. One of those guys is going home.
Unapproved adjustments on the number 50 send him to the back of the grid. 6 drivers came in here as the opener, non-franchised cars that have to either time in or race in. Noah Gragson and former Indy 500 winner and Formula One champ Jacques Villeneuve, they know they'll be in the Daytona 500. Let's check with Jamie Little.
And one of those drivers was just talked about by Clint Boyer, Kaz Grala. He's trying to make the first start ever for this brand new racing team, the Money Team, co-owned by Floyd Mayweather. I just talked to Kaz before he got in the car. He actually FaceTimed with Floyd on the phone. They want to make this show. He told me basically it's as simple as this. I need to beat the 55 of JJ Yaley. If we can do that, and we feel we could, we're going to make it to the Daytona 500 on Sunday, Regan Smith.
Well, Jamie, from one end of the spectrum, guys trying to make the Daytona 500, to the other end of the spectrum, guys that we would consider the favorites. One of those is Ryan Blaney. The last time we were at Daytona, Ryan got the victory. So good in this 500. 2 runner-up finishes in the Daytona 500. Oh, yeah, by the way, he also has a dual win to go with all that success that he's had. I spoke to crew chief Jonathan Hassler, asked him what is the plan for tonight. So many guys maybe want to protect, want to make sure that they save their cars for Sunday. He said that is not the case for them. He wants Ryan to be aggressive. He wants him to learn his race car. They want to know every little detail that they can fix to make it better for Sunday so that they can have that shot to finally get one more spot and get Ryan Blaney that win.
Thanks, Regan. As the drivers come down pit road to check their pit road speed against the RPM on their digital tack. We'll take a look at tonight's Ford Performance Track Facts. Ford has won a dual race 4 years in a row. 2018 to 2021. They've won at least one, and in 2019, Logano and Harvick swept the duels. Ross Chastain has our Advent Health onboard camera for duel number 1. And there's Ryan Blaney. He's got our Ford camera on board his number 12. There's the Mahindra Tractors cam riding with Chase Briscoe. The Monster Energy cam with Kurt Busch. Landon Castle with the Fox Nation onboard cam. And Daniel Suarez, Boyer, I know you had something to do with this. The Tootsie's Kid Rocks cam. Where are we going partying tonight?
I want to go to Tootsie's every night. Good time. I got to fix my mess up, Larry. I called Austin Cindric, Austin Dillon, and I can't do that.
We knew what you meant.
Got to do better.
We knew what you meant.
Got to do better.
That's opening day.
I was trying to steal Mike's line of the deuce. I had my head wrapped around stealing the old KG Vets line of using the deuce, and I messed it all up.
That's okay. As we get set here in Daytona, the all-new Toyota Camry TRD leads the field.
Really looking forward to this race, guys. These boys, there's a lot of unknowns with this race car. A lot of those drivers were concerned about their handling, a lot of rigidness in their cars, moving around a little bit, and now it's just single file lines. These boys are going to be 2 and 3 wide.
60 laps, and pole sitter Kyle Larson has elected the outside lane for the start. The lead car gets his choice of lane, but there is no choose rule in effect at NASCAR's 2 big super speedways, Daytona and Talladega. Beautiful day here. Still 72 degrees. It got up to 80 this afternoon. Going to be a little cooler for the weekend. Asphalt temp of 77, and the pace car hits pit road. The first of 2 races to set the field for Sunday's Daytona 500 gets the green flag.
Still half back to the 24 in line with you. Still. Now don't get too far. You're doing good here. Still 2 back, 2 out behind you. The 1 torque in the top lane. Still 1.
An orderly pack. Kaz Grala's in trouble right away. He has kind of lost touch with that group there.
One thing you saw right off the bat, and I kind of anticipated this, was that 5 car obviously going to be on the pole unless something happens right here. Move down in front of his teammate. All 3 Hendrick Motorsports cars probably going to stay there, Larry, until something happens he doesn't like, and then I'd say you'll see that guy get out of Dodge.
Yeah, 12 Chevrolet drivers in this field, 6 of them at the front. I look for all of them to really work together, which would include those 3 Chevrolet drivers from Hendrick.
Leading a lap in the duel for the first time is Kyle Larson. He has never previously led. And let me correct, it's Noah Gragson who has lost touch with the pack, not Kaz Grala, who's up there in 15th place.
But he knows he's going to race on Sunday.
Gragson does, yes. He is locked in on speed. That is their only car. They don't have a backup, so he is staying out of harm's way. There's Grala on the left of your screen. If there was an award for graphic schemes this week, it would already have been decided in favor of number 50. Up front, the Hendrick cars, 1, 2, 3 on the inside.
You see that red number 14 Ford in the outside, Chase Briscoe. Felt like he would have run a little faster last night, Clint, but he could not get it in 5th gear going down the back straightaway and had to keep working the throttle on his get up to speed lap.
I can understand that. These things were 4-speeds forever. Maybe he forgot about the old overdrive. 5th gear this year, a lot different.
Now on our scoring pylon, noted in red are the 2 drivers trying to race their way in. One of them will be in the Daytona 500, and the other will head home after tonight, as many have before. Little bump draft there. Off into turn 3.
I saw that in both lanes. Actually, you saw Chase Elliott right on the back bumper of William Byron, and the same thing with Reddick and Chastain on the outside. I think you're going to see a lot of that with this car. Guys are able to bump draft. The thing wants to pull up to the bumper of that car in front of them. That momentum, and it really, when it comes down to push the shove up.
You know, Regan Smith talked about Ryan Blaney in that 12 being aggressive. Those 2 drivers in the outside, Ross Chastain in the 1, Tyler Reddick in 8, you never have to worry about are they being aggressive. They will be on it every single lap.
I think everybody's minding their P's and Q's right now. And really what I look for these guys to do, as soon as these things start sorting it out, is finding their allies, right? Their teammates, their manufacturer teammates. That's what we're going to see pretty short.
It's a 13-car breakaway at the front of the pack, and then a single file group of 3, a group of 4, and then Gregson out back.
And the thing about all those packs, they're running just as quick as that lead pack now that they've got organized.
That was part of NASCAR's hope in developing this 7th generation NASCAR Cup car, is to bring things more into parity. And judging from qualifying last night, so far, mission accomplished.
And I know it's a completely different style of racing, Larry, but I was pleasantly surprised at what I saw out there in LA at the Clash. Saw a lot of parity, a lot of cars that you're just not accustomed to seeing up front. Was really, really strong on the speed and everything they had going on a short track. So hats off so far with the program of this car.
We saw that in qualifying last night. I've never seen qualifying at Daytona so tight.
Never seen that tight anywhere.
5 of 60 laps complete. And let's have a look at our drivers trying to race their way in. Kaz Grala in 14th place. J.J. Yaley, who did not have great speed in qualifying, they're in 19th.
But I will say, if I'm J.J. Yaley, I'm a little bit concerned because I only have 1 car behind me. The only thing you don't want to do right here this early is lose that draft and be completely down and out. If these guys start pitting or something else, that can really throw you out of the race with this thing. So you want to keep that guy in obviously in view, but more importantly, I'd like to keep him within reachable distance always.
3 now, 4 cars edging ahead of that double file group. Daniel Suarez 4th in line, gave Chase Elliott in 3rd. A good bump there going off into turn number 3, and it gave them a little separation on that double wide pack. Let's have a look here. That's the visor cam on Daniel Suarez.
He actually hit him enough that I think his helmet, you saw his helmet move. So that's a pretty good shot. Now these cars, both front and rear, have a foam behind the bumpers. And all the drivers have been telling me, guys, that it's soft. You can't feel that as much as you used to with the old cars because it was pretty much solid frame to frame. Now they have a little bit of a cushion.
So now the field is single file. Part of the effect of that little bump draft was to separate the first 4 or 5 cars. The next 9 quickly got in single file line.
Yeah, and to your point, up until that outside line, they were maintaining. But after that group got that a little bit of a run, they had no choice but to fall back in and form single file.
Clint, one big question with this new car is, will there be a side draft? Can you get up against somebody, take the air off their rear spoiler, get that side suck and pull ahead?
Well, this is honestly the first time that I feel like anybody, us included, watching is going to be able to experience that. I know you're getting single file, but that's always, we've seen that. That's standard practice for here. I wouldn't be surprised if Larson doesn't bring this group to the outside, which we've all seen before, right around there and log laps. It's 60 laps in this race. Got to log some laps and get to the end of this thing. The other thing is, you know, there's so many different variables that I'm interested in. You know, can you push? Can you just sit there right on their bumper without overheating? You know, those are all things back, you know, with the old car that you had to keep in mind. Yes, you could be up there bump drafted, but you couldn't do it forever because that thing would get hot.
8 laps complete. The defending series champ Kyle Larson has led them all. 11 green flag laps complete. Tonight's aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, with you for every mile on the road to greatness. Goodyear, more driven. There's that 13-car fast freight past the start-finish line to complete 12 and head off toward turn number 1.
You know, Mike and Clint, watching Kyle Larson in that 5-car lead this race, he has 16 Cup wins now, all at 16 different tracks. But he's 0 for 29 as far as even a top 5 finish on a super speedway as far as Daytona Talladega.
Now, Kaz Grala, when we went to break, had 5 positions on J.J. Yaley. Grala has now dropped back in his number 50. He and Yaley's 55 are just 1 car apart.
Took the words right out of my mouth. And more importantly, that group went around him and put him to the back of that group. Very important to stick with that group, because if he doesn't, he's going to be singled out and go right back there to J.J. Yaley, which is the guy that he has to outrun.
All right, let's move up to position number 6 and car number 6, the new ride for Brad Keselowski for 2022. Jamie?
Well, Mike, you talked about the field being nose to tail. I was just listening to Brad Keselowski, who's gained 3 positions so far. He said, I really want to try some things here, but if we try it and it doesn't work, we'll lose 5 or 6 spots. So a lot of that give or take going on in these drivers' minds. They're all so eager right now to see what their car can do. They're hard right now, sitting still where he is.
How do you feel if you're Brad Keselowski, you look in the rearview mirror and there's the car you drove last year?
Kind of odd. But I tell you what, Bad Brad can get it done on a track like this. Yep. And one thing that I've been watching with him and, you know, his 2 old teammates right there, all those Fords are able to really pull up very fast. So I know when the time's right, these cars are capable of pouncing, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
12 Chevrolets, 7 Fords, and Kurt Busch's Toyota.
You know, one thing we've been noticing, the exhaust glowing on these race cars, and the biggest reason that's doing that, you see how short they are. They dump out just behind the front tires, and so you're seeing that glow. If you go back to the old car, you would see the glow underneath the car, but it stopped. It wouldn't do it where it would exit out.
That's because it's got a fire-breathing dragon under the hood, Larry. And it looks cool, right?
And each bank of cylinders exits out its own side of the car.
Yes. Which gives it that distinct sound. I love the rumble, the roar of these cars, and it's because of that pipes coming out both sides of it.
Regan?
Well, Mike, we're finally to that part of the run where the drivers get to tell the crew chiefs how their cars are doing. The tires are starting to wear. They're starting to get a better feel for things. Take a listen to what your leader, Kyle Larson, had to say about his car.
Balance okay so far?
Yeah, he got a little bit light into one time when he was pushing me, but other than that, fine, putting front on my back bumper.
Support.
I think one thing Kyle Larson does not want to do is lead this entire race, because when you're the lead dog, what can you learn?
I don't care. Kyle Larson, he wants to lead every lap, and he's pretty accustomed to that from what I can tell. Doesn't matter what the kid's in.
Larry, help me.
Well, I remember 1998 with Dale Earnhardt. Every practice, he'd do exactly what Kyle Larson is doing right there. I finally said, Dale, how about if we get in the back of the pack a little bit and see what we got? He said, I don't plan on being there on Sunday.
All right, you win.
But I will say this, what that kid said, you heard him say it feels a little light. When as soon as Willie B got to his bumper, the thing got light on its rear feet, and that means it got loose. That is something that you do not want to feel. It goes back to this conversation we're talking about. You know, you want to put your car in those scenarios. That's when you don't want to feel, Larry. I don't want that thing loose. I want it stuck to the ground all the time, no matter who's on my rear bumper.
And I think from a crew chief standpoint, I talked about not having many pages in the notebook. What adjustments do I need to make to don't hurt the car, but try to help it?
Now, Kaz Grala has gained a few positions back. He jumped up to 15th in that number 50, now 16th. in the middle of that second pack. They're racing back there, and for that number 50 car, it's a matter of whether or not he races his way into the Daytona 500. He is now 16th. J.J. Yaley in the 55 in 19th.
And really, these guys are just hurting themselves. Running door to door like this, side by side, that just slows your whole pack down. They need to get that sorted out. Probably more than likely, they're trying to figure out who leads faster than another car. But more importantly, they need to get single file, and they should be able to pull up to the line in front of them.
Well, yeah, Kaz Grala's last lap time was a 48.39. J.J. Yaley just ran a 49.79. He's losing over a second a lap.
They're good and back in line.
Justin Haley right there in the 31. Had a bad crash at the Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum. Kyle Larson sent him into the inside barrier. And Larson said on media day, he said, I overreacted. I did not mean to wreck him, but I wanted the inside lane into that next corner.
Well, the other thing that I think was going on there is it really wasn't him, right? He got pushed into Kyle, obviously upset Kyle. He went down and made a move on him that I don't think he realized the full story. But we saw a lot of that going on such a short racetrack.
Right.
And, man, that's what I came there for. That was action-packed all the way through.
Noah Gragson will go a lap down. Remember, he was the fastest of the non-charter cars at that Beard Motorsports number 62. So he will be in the Daytona 500 regardless of where he finishes this 150 miler.
And remember, he missed the 500 a year ago.
Car formerly driven by Brendan Gaughan.
I would look to hear some of these guys actually lift and probably run and just part throttle 50% or something, saving some fuel for the end of this thing. Obviously 60 laps, we know, Larry, that window, the fuel window that they're capable of going wide open somewhere around 38 to 40.
Yeah, 38 to 42 laps, and just talking to some crew chiefs and competition directors right before I came up here, it sounds like they may go somewhere around lap 35 if we indeed stay green.
And you can see it right there in Ross Chastain. You only about part throttle, maybe 40% at times. Just doing whatever you can do to stay in that buffer, stay in that draft, but save as much fuel as you can.
And compared to last night's qualifying, the difference of being in the draft is about 500 RPM higher in a group like this.
Whereas, you know, Kyle Larson's out there, and probably all three of those Hendrick cars leading this brigade, they're going to be pretty much wide open.
And about 8 to 10 miles per hour in gain as well.
Why is it always full moon race week in Daytona? That's a short track superstition is full moon Saturday nights mayhem. But it's not Saturday night. And we're on a super speedway, not a short track, so pay that no mind. Kyle Larson for Rick Hendrick and Chevrolet have led all 21 laps so far. Welcome back to the Blue Green Vacations Duel on FS1. 3 Hendrick Chevys continue to lead, and the last 3 duels that were won from the pole were all done by Hendrick drivers. Chase Elliott, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon did it. Now back at the transfer spot, Kaz Grala has lost the draft of that second pack. He is running by himself, lapping at about 51 seconds. J.J.
Help
Yaley,
here somehow. They're a second a lap quicker than us right now.
that is Grala's problem. J.J. Yaley has help from B.J. McLeod, and those two are faster than Grala by himself. This is going to be a horse race.
Worst case scenario by far for Kaz Grala. This is exactly what I was talking about. When those cars got side by side, you absolutely do not want to lose the draft. One thing that he isn't the only one. I just watched Cole Custer do the same exact thing.
Well, Kurt Busch told you he was coming to the front, and here he is leading a group on the outside and up at least momentarily to 5th place alongside Ryan Blaney.
Yeah, Ross Chastain in that one had jumped up there, and that's when Kurt Busch in the 45 decided to go up top as well. Now, Eric Jones in the 43 was with them, and he went back down to the bottom.
But another thing, if I'm Kurt Busch, again, we talked about this at the top of the show. I want to go out there, put myself and my car in some scenarios that I need to know for the Daytona 500. One of those scenarios that Kurt Busch has is a new voice in his ear, a new spotter. He's not the only one. William Byron, Austin Cindric, working with new spotters this year. So important to have that communication down pat, especially for the big dance on Sunday.
You know, let's set the stage here. As we said at the top of the show, you have to make it at least one pit stop. Now, we're in the window, should we get a caution, that you could make it the rest of the way. I get a feeling they're going to probably run another 8 to 10 laps. Green flag pit stop. We talked about the pit crews. Kevin Harvick, this will be his 21st Daytona 500 on Sunday. He said this car is so different getting on the pit road with the brake package and all. So could we see mistakes if we get into this green flag pit stop?
Man, you hope so. If you're Kaz Grala right now, you hope a mistake is made and that caution comes out. Needs a caution in a big way.
Grala is by himself, 26 seconds off the lead, but 11 seconds ahead of the drafting duo of J.J. Yeley and B.J. McLeod. Teammates Ross Chastain and Kurt Busch were working together on the outside, trying to gain some ground, but ended up 7th and 9th for the moment. There's the duo chasing Kaz Grala. And they're gaining, but fractionally, about half a second a lap.
That's something to pay attention to. As I said, Kaz Grala wasn't the only one. I saw Cole Custer do the same thing. As soon as those cars, they were side by side, as soon as they went single file, he was spit out just a little bit too long on the outside. Away they drove off from him. Going to have to be very careful as a race car driver not to allow that to happen.
You see on our pylon that Cole Custer in 17th has also lost touch with the lead pack by about 10 seconds. Green flag all the way so far, 29 laps complete, halfway this time by.
You know, Mike, we've seen issues also just drivers trying to get in a position to get on pit road on green. In fact, our first caution in Duel 2 last year was due to Chase Briscoe misjudging where he was trying to get down on the pit road under green.
Clint, what happens when the leaders catch that duo of Yeley and McLeod? Will they be able to tack on, I wonder?
Well, that's the hope, right? That's the plan. You need to, as they're going by, you try to side draft off of them as much as possible, gain some momentum there, and then, man, as soon as they go by, get in that draft.
Jamie?
Tony Uri Jr. is on the pit box for Kaz Grala in the 50. They're keeping him very calm. They're calm on the radio. They said, don't worry, just hang in there, keep doing what you're doing. He keeps telling them he is wide open. It's all he has. They said, wait till we pit. We'll get some help then.
It's the only card you got, right, Larry? Keep him calm down. That's probably easier said than done.
Yeah, that's going to be a challenge, just finding someone when you do make the pit stop to get with when you leave pit road, because you're out there by yourself entering pit road. What makes you think you're going to be with someone leaving pit road?
At the prom and no date.
Here come the leaders. On Yeley and McLeod, that may give them a bit of a boost trying to catch Kaz Grala.
It will. There's no question it will. As soon as that pack goes by them, they're going to fall in line and get that draft, get that toe off of them, which will make that gap narrow up even more.
So, Larry, we go another 12 green flag laps. You're going to have to be on pit road.
Yes, when we get up near around, we're at lap 31 right now. We can probably run another 10 to 12 laps. To your point, I think the guys that are back in the draft, they're getting better fuel mileage right now, but Kyle Larson, he's wide open all the way around this racetrack. Then I think there's the question, and this is where they have to sync up together, Mike. Do we do 4 tires or do we just do 2? I think we may see a lot of them just go with right side only.
Starting to see some moves right there. Saw Blaney make a move off of a push from Keselowski, went by, split up that 3-car team of Henry.
2 cars dropping back top outside of you now.
William Byron drops to 6th in the 24. And traffic ahead. Regan?
Well, Mike, as we see the action on the racetrack, let's not forget about the action that's about to happen on pit road. The crews are starting to stretch. This will be the first time we see pit crews hit 1 mucked up pit stops, something completely different. So some butterflies for these guys down on pit road for the first time in a long time.
Now there's the duo of Yeley and McLeod going a lap down. They're not going to be able to tuck into that inside line. Going to get a little help from Byron there just for the moment. But if they can latch onto that draft, that will help them gain on Kaz Grala.
Everybody's still single file here.
Now McLeod is locked into the race. He's one of the charter teams. He is in the position of being able to help Yaley. They are a couple of Fords. If they can catch Kaz Grala's Chevrolet, well, then it's on for the final spot in the Daytona 500.
Well, they're gonna pick up in a big way with this pull off that draft.
There's Grala in the number 50, lone soldier, and here come the leaders.
And honestly, when they go by him, I don't think he's going to be able to latch on to him. I mean, he has no momentum right now.
Won't latch on to even them.
Grala's last lap 51:23. The leader was 48 seconds. Still no action on pit road as we come to 34 laps. And here's where Kaz Grala from Boston, Mass. goes a lap down.
Clint, you talked about all these new spotters. I guarantee you there's a lot of bargaining going on right now up on that spotter stand about when are you coming, are we going to pit together, and what we're going to do.
There's the difference, 12 miles per hour. The leader to Grala. Now he's going to have to try and tuck in right behind this group and gain a bit of a tow. Oh, Austin Cindric to the outside.
Well, if he jumped to the outside, Austin Cindric's definitely not coming to pit road this time.
And Grala did not catch a tow from that lead pack. Here come the Chevrolets to pit road. Much bigger brakes on this Gen 7 car. Later braking down to pit road speed. Jamie.
And a nice countdown for William Byron as he makes his way down with all of his teammates. What a night they had last night. The power. It was a big night for Hendrick Motorsports. The 24 is in his box. His team over the wall. They've been practicing this for over a year. Nice work so far. Regan, we'll go to you.
Well, Chase Elliott with his race car right now just a little bit tight. Worried it might get tighter, so a small adjustment for that. And your leader, Kyle Larson, that race car good other than when cars are pushing him.
Kaz Grala pitted with the Chevrolets, but does not gain a tow coming off pit road. Here are the Fords coming to pit.
We had a mixed agenda right there. Looked like Kurt Busch and Tyler Reddick went with right side tires only. A lot of the other Chevys, Jamie, went with 4 tires.
Remember, Brad Keselowski in the number 6 as the number 2. His old team comes right around in front of him there. Austin Cindric saying he's just a bit tight off of turn 4. It'll be right sides for him. We'll go to Regan with his teammate.
Well, Ryan Blaney, a nice move forward in the field. That race car right now, a little bit of a 4-wheel drift off the corners. That means it wants to slide up off the bottom of the racetrack just a little bit.
Kaz Grala, too fast, exiting pit road. The speeding police have nabbed him.
Oh, no.
That
keeps
is
getting worse.
Pass-through penalty at pit road speed.
Not good. I tell you one thing I did see and notice right here from the windshield dyno is those boys are able to come into the pits way harder than they used to be able to. Diving in there, I just knew Ryan Blaney in that 12 car was speeding, and I think he made it. Haven't heard in my ear yet.
Nope. There's Grala serving the penalty. Bigger tires, 18-inch wheels instead of 15s. Much bigger brakes on this new car.
I don't think Kyle Larson was wanting to go that fast. Chase Elliott had a little bit better feel of pit road speed. When you lead, the only thing you don't want to do is throw it away on pit road.
Yeah, Mike, 30% more braking is what they actually have.
Seems like that's about how much more tire they have too, right?
Yeah.
Cole Custer comes to pit road, and that will complete the stops, but for Noah Gragson. So after pit stops, the Fords are out front. Blaney, Keselowski, Briscoe, and Cindric.
A little more efficient.
Larry, did you need 4 tires, or do you want to see how those tires are wearing? Why'd you change forward?
Well, for handling, but I think what was the right move was exactly what Kurt Busch in that 45 and Tyler Reddick in the 8. They're right behind these 4 Fords. They went with just right side tires.
Brad Keselowski as well.
That's what I think all these Fords do, and you see all 6 of them. I guarantee you, for a little bit, they're content to run right there.
Look at Brad's stop and those big 18-inch center lock wheels, BBS forged wheels, as required by NASCAR for all these cars. That one lug nut comes off the car and stays in the socket of the air gun.
Doesn't look near as busy as they used to be, does it?
Well, no more lug nuts spit out from tires on acceleration. No more loose lug nut penalties.
Yeah, right now changing 4 tires for the fuel without considering the fuel should be somewhere around 9 to 10 seconds for 4 tires.
Wow. Ryan Blaney, only the second leader of this race after Kyle Larson was out front for 34 laps. Blaney has led the last 5 as we take you Fox side by side.
The all-new Tundra. Toyota, let's go places.
Whenever you crack open a Busch Light, the mountain starts singing.
It's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you.
What is going on?
Mountains of Busch beer.
Hit it, Giant Kenny G.
It's so smooth.
Head for the mountains of Busch Light beer.
After 2 years, Auto Club Speedway is back and ready for some action. We're talking 5-wide, full-throttle, next-gen cars, ripping up laps inside some gorgeous mountains type of action. And the access to drivers and stars? Oh, it's got plenty of that action. So get ready. You don't want to miss all the, well, you know what we were going to say. Get your tickets now at AutoClubSpeedway.com.
Showtime at Daytona. Real season starts today. Make sure everybody over here. There's a fight.
Here they come.
The Daytona 500, Sunday at 2:30 Eastern on Fox.
There's a reputation on the track, one that screams, bring it, loud enough so the whole world will see it coming. I am the NASCAR Xfinity Series. I am NASCAR.
18 laps to go in the first 150-miler, first of 2 here tonight to set the field for the Daytona 500. The first 4 Fords each took 2 tires, as did Reddick and Kurt Busch. But that's not the whole story. Look at getting onto pit road, comparing Blaney's Ford with Kyle Larson's Chevrolet. At different times, of course.
And you heard me say it. I thought he came on so fast right there at the line. I was like, man, I don't know if he got stopped. He may have been speeding on pit road, but way more efficient. Kind of in the last probably maybe 100 feet right there is where he beat him.
And then you add in the difference of the 5 going with 4 tires, the 12 going with 2. That's the reason you have that distance on the racetrack right now.
And they're laying some lap times down. Again, efficiency. They're faster than those Chevrolets are catching them. They're running in the 90s, and those boys back there running in the 30s. And the wrong digit, right? 47.90 to 48.30 on Larson in the 5. They're in trouble.
Let's go back 2 laps ago. Brad Keselowski trying to send Ryan Blaney forward. I think there's as much lateral as forward motion there.
Glad he's got those light colored gloves on. You can see him in there working the wheel. But honestly, that's why they're driving off from them Chevrolets. They're pushing harder and doing a better job of drafting.
Kurt Busch has dropped 3 spots, and we listened in.
Stay attached. All right, they're gone. How many laps to go? Need more than 3 cars. Copy. Kurt in line with them. Got to stay lined up.
That's new communication. We said it, you know, a new spotter driver. That's what this race, you know, obviously you're here to win this duel. It's a big deal to win the duel, but this is the only true practice session in a massive draft like you're going to see on Sunday in the Daytona 500, and those guys need to know that. Make those mistakes now so you don't make it on Sunday.
Ryan Blaney out in front now for 10 laps. He's finished top 10 in 5 of his 7 Daytona duels, including winning his in 2018. He got the checkered flag here in the 400-miler last August.
I want to go back to what I just said, though. I've watched these guys, numerous guys, lose the draft. That's something that you never really had to worry about too much with that old car, looking over your shoulder thinking, man, do I have enough help behind me? Cannot lose this draft. I've watched multiple cars already in his first draft. That's something that all these guys have to pay attention to.
But I got to give credit to the Ford teams for all being on the same page of coming together as they did, all going with those 2 tires. And then Tyler Reddick, Richard Childress Racing, they really pay a lot of attention to analytics. And they went with 2 tires when most of all the other Chevrolets went with 4 tires.
Yeah, they were the first one to really come up with a war room, so to speak, where they do all of that, pay attention to that, have a team all the way back home in Welcome, North Carolina that pay attention closely to all those calls.
That gap is 4.8 seconds from Reddick in 5th to Elliott in 6th. At the transfer spot, J.J. Yaley has it because Kaz Grala had to take that speeding penalty down pit road. Yaley 1 lap down, Grala 2 laps back, and Noah Gregson 2 laps back as well. So as things stand right now with 14 to go, J.J. Yaley in position to make the Daytona 500.
Yeah, Mike, even if the caution comes out right now, Cole Custer would get the free pass, so it really would not do anything for Yaley or Grala. They'd still be 1 and 2 laps down.
Tough situation. Got behind right there, trying to make up, doing the best you can do on pit road. Got caught speeding on pit road, and it's really going to cost them. Needs something to happen here, a caution, something to give them new life.
Right now, the lap times from that lead group to the second group back there, it almost mirrors one another. They're not gaining, they're not losing.
The drivers have this digital dash. Everything there is computer controlled. And the reason Kaz Grala had to start this race in the rear was an unapproved adjustment. They had to repair or change out the dash. Now, that may or may not have had something to do with him exceeding the speed limit on pit road.
Oh, man. Sure hope not.
Yeah, because you heard them giving RPM, I think it was Kurt Busch, 4,500, but really they go by the lights on the digital dash,
It's
green
still,
and red lights.
Larry, I always wanted to know the number, though, because that was your first one, right? That was your first focal mark. All right, I get it to 4,500. Now I'm going to go to my lights and fine-tune that 4,500. But I wanted to see that 45, whatever that number was. That's what my first focal point and focus was.
So here's what's at stake for these cars up front. If Ryan Blaney wins this 150, he will start the 500 on the second row on the inside, and he'll be the 3rd driver to pick his pit position. For Brad Keselowski, he would start on the inside of the 3rd row. Hold on. And he'd be the 5th driver to pick his pit. So each position is important if you can gain one.
Boys, he don't like that. I can tell you right now, that's moving that car around quite a bit. You can hear the RPM change. That baby's is singing a good note as soon as he pushes him, but it is also throwing the rear end of that car all over the place.
And my biggest takeaway, Ryan Blaney didn't blink the whole time we were looking at him.
He didn't breathe either.
Brad Keselowski, the Daytona 500 will be his first points race for his new team. And I say his because he is now a co-owner with Jack Roush and the Fenway Sports Group in what's now RFK Racing, the number 6 and 17. After missing the Busch Light Clash feature. 3rd place, Chase Briscoe. For Stuart Haas, 4 Fords up front, Briscoe in 3rd.
We're 2 laps to good on fuel. Fuel. He doesn't know if he has enough to finish it. 10-4. He started to check it up the last couple laps. Stay with the 6 and 12. I mean, the Chevys were a little bit quicker than us that lap, but they're still 5 seconds back.
We're going to hear a lot of this year because it takes so much longer to put fuel in than it does to change tires. They go with 2 tires. They're almost just kind of making a guesstimate about how much fuel they needed to dump in it when they roam pit road.
And I like his situation. If I'm Chase Briscoe, I'm liking what I'm seeing right now. You know, Brad Keselowski, that's his old team in front of him. Don't you think for a minute that that cagey old veteran doesn't want to beat his old team and outduel them in this first duel?
Larry, you got engineers, you got strategists, you got a war room, and you're going to go with a guesstimate?
But you got a crew chief going, go, 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 go.
Oh, that too.
Which one is it, Larry? You want me to go or save you fuel? But what I'm saying is, you know Brad Keselowski is going to make a move at the end of this race. And when he does, that's your opportunity to put him 3 wide, make a move yourself, and take advantage of those cars side by side. Flip side of that, you can see Blaney looking in the mirror. If you're Blaney, you're going to try to figure out when and where he's going to do it and make that block.
These new cars have rack and pinion steering instead of the old recirculating ball steering box and idler arms and everything. It's much more efficient, and look at how much less the driver has to turn that wheel to make things happen.
I actually called Kevin Harvick today and picked his brain. I wanted to know what that felt like. Some differences maybe that they can change or anything else. They can actually change the tension, the heaviness of the wheel, if you will. He felt like he had a really soft wheel, was able to move the wheel a lot. The car, the way they're dancing around, he was wondering if he maybe wanted to tighten that up a little bit, helps calm that wheel down a little bit. Something that you can do with this thing. I like that move, and also you can speed it up and slow it down. I would think for this type of racing, when you see that thing dancing around, probably want to slow kind of, you know, steering and slow everything down. Be calm, not be all over the place. You don't want to overcorrect in that scenario.
See, Tyler Reddick in that 8 car, he lost the lead draft, and now he's fallen back into the group of Chevrolet drivers back there, 4th in line.
And that whole separation is due to the pit stop. The Ford drivers took 2 tires. Most of the Chevrolet drivers took 4. And the difference, 4.6 seconds from one group to the other.
It's always why I wanted to be in that second duel, because I know what I'm planning on right now for duel number 2. 2 tires.
You wanted the easy answer. Plain and simple, outfoxed them tonight, boys. Never know, though. One caution could change it all. Then you want those 4 tires. Not that I'm asking for a caution or anything. Wishing, dreaming.
Look at that front splitter on that car, just how that thing is just glued, almost stuck to the racetrack. And in the rear, that diffuser below the bumper. I'm hearing that's where all the speed is. If you're going to gain some advantage, it's what you do in managing the air under the car that affects it as much or more as the air flowing over the car.
No question. That's why we see different heights on that front splitter. Paul Wolf, Joey Logano's crew chief, said I can change the balance of this car by how much air I let under it because of the flat bottom car getting it to that diffuser.
Not seeing these cars bounce around, Larry, near as much as we saw in qualifying last night. Some of the adjustments, the dampening and things like that in these cars, they can adjust that going into this race, correct?
Even on an impound, they can definitely take some of the aggressiveness out of the shocks and things.
Which all plays a role. The reason you want that rigid to keep that height, right? You want to keep that right down on the track exactly where you want it. Keep that thing very, very rigid. Now you can come off of that a little bit, give up some flex in the car, smooth.
Now, if these drivers stay single file, oh, never mind. Here comes Keselowski.
Man, that's a little earlier than I was expecting right there, Larry.
Yeah, and Chase Briscoe in the 14 goes with him, but you see Austin Cindric in the 2. He stays with his teammate Blaney in the 12.
All this is going to do one thing. Bring that pack of Chevrolets closer to them.
Sure is. So
that difference down to 4.2.
We'll be coming to 3 to go this next time by.
Brad is a very smart plate racer, but if it was me, I probably would have waited just a little bit longer. Now, who's in the catbird seat? Is it him from ranking that big block at the end of this thing, or is it the cat behind him, Chase Briscoe?
He'll even get a little bit of help off those cars that they're running up on right now.
Lap cars ahead. Custer, Yaley, and McLeod will go 2 laps down.
The other thing that did right there is pair up those teammates, Ryan Blaney and Austin Cindric.
Ooh. That was Blaney to the inside of the 14, and he shuffles Chase Briscoe using those lap cars as a pick.
Exactly what I was talking about. Now, when you're Brad Keselowski, you're looking in the mirror, you have Blaney, which I already thought was extremely fast, but not only that, you got his teammate pushing him.
Austin Cindric, the rookie, in the 2, lined up on Ryan Blaney. And losing touch with that trio is Briscoe.
Gonna have a decision on your hands. You're gonna have to make a big block right here. Very aggressive if you're Brad.
2 to go. Brad Keselowski has never won a duel at Daytona.
And this would be a big deal for RFK Racing, even just being a dual race, no question.
Lapping Noah Gragson, who is locked into the 500 on speed.
It's exactly why Jack Roush and everybody made this move. Brad, everybody involved with RFK, this is exactly why you made that move, to have this opportunity, put that guy behind the wheel.
Blaney with a bump into 3.
Yeah, Blaney's saying, remember me, I'm the guy that was in front a while ago.
Coming to the white.
See how you like it.
I don't know if anybody blocks any better, though, than Brad Keselowski.
No. 4 cars trying to play capture the flag. The white flag waves, 1 to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank.
So he's pushing him out there and getting away from his teammate. I don't know that I would have probably done that if I'm Ryan Blaney. I need that teammate. Probably get away. And that may be what he was doing right there. Push him out, drag back, but you can already see Brad seeing that in the mirror.
Cindric to the bottom. Whoa!
That is not at all what I thought was going to happen.
The rookie Austin Cindric
thought was going to happen.
And Xfinity champ sends Blaney back to 4th. Now Cindric gets a bump from the 14 at
It's going to be off of 4 right here. You're going to have to. Well,
Keselowski by himself, double wide behind him, and Brad Keselowski gets his first dual win, 3 wide for second. Austin Cindric over Blaney and Briscoe.
Greed got in the way there, boys. Nobody wanted to go by Keselowski. That was the best case scenario for Brad. Didn't have to block anybody.
And we will go back and check, but you saw the leaders lap Yaley and McLeod. That put them on the same lap as Kaz Gralla. And on the final lap, Gralla may have beat Yaley to the line. Now he's asking the same thing we are.
You're in.
You have got to be kidding me. Right at the end of the race. The money team. Does that mean Mayweather's coming? I want to see.
But thank God. Whew.
So there's Gralla, second to last car in that group. The 55 on the outside is Yaley in turns 3 and 4. Gralla makes the pass on Yaley, who had no drafting partner. And Kaz Gralla will race in the Daytona 500.
Wow, after all of that, the mistake on pit road, thinking you're down and out, to have that happen right on the last lap. Who would have ever thought that could happen?
Classic case, never give up.
It is awesome, baby.
Yes, a lot of happy celebrating faces there. Kaz Gralla races in. Jack Roush and his number 6 and the rest of his team have only 1 prior dual win. In 2012, Matt Kenseth won his dual race, went on to win the Daytona 500 that year.
Thank you, gentlemen. That's how we do it. Let's go.
I think this will be a mild celebration.
Oh,
this is the Daytona 500 car.
Yeah, there will be no big burnouts because this car, what about this engine, Larry?
You've got the engine you're going to race on Sunday. You've got the car. We just saw a crew member there of RFK Racing, Matt McCall. Matt McCall was Kurt Busch's crew chief. And when I heard of that pairing, I said, I think that has a ton of potential. Brad Keselowski and Matt McCall.
Now this is a Keselowski signature move. After every one of his victories, he wants to wave not the checkered flag, but the American flag. Well, the team owner can't tell him don't burn it down because that would be Brad.
I'm so happy for Brad. couple weeks ago, go out this first outing ever. Unfortunately, didn't have a good showing out there in LA at the Clash. Now comes to Daytona, where it's all about all the marbles, and wins the first duel for the Daytona 500. Congratulations, Brad. That's not a very good, that's that mild burnout, what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's one of those see you Sunday burnouts. That's okay.
You know what, Mike? He said it was a little scary and bittersweet to leave Penske, but he said, you know what? If your dreams don't scare you, your dream's probably not big enough.
That's right. His dad and his hero passed away in the offseason, and I know that weighs heavily on Brad, whose dad, a great racer in his own right, was a huge influence on this young man. But he has a vision of what he can do with RFK Racing, and there is the sticker honoring Brad's father as he climbs out a winner in the blue-green duel at Daytona. Regan.
Well, Brad Keselowski hops out his signature American flag victory celebration. We'll give Brad a second to get his helmet off here. Brad, you made some big changes during the offseason. Took a big chance coming over, becoming an owner at Roush Keselowski Fenway Racing, and looks like it's paid off so far. A great start to Speed Weeks for you.
Yeah, it sure is. I felt pretty good about our car, you know, in practice on Tuesday, Regan, and I got to give credit to the other Fords. We worked really well together. Ryan Blaney, Chase Briscoe. We had great strategy, Austin Cindric, and we stuck together and we drove away and got ourselves in a position where we could control the finish of this race, and I'm happy to see all those Fords up front. Good job to all those guys, but great start for our Kohler Generators Ford team. This is special.
All smiles down here. Brad Keselowski, winner of duel number 1.
He'll have a second row start on Sunday. Kaz Grala will race in the Daytona 500 after a last lap move. We'll hear from him next. Every race at Daytona has its favorites, its winners, and its great pleasant surprises. One Cinderella story: Kaz Grala, with one lap to go, put on the glass slipper, caught onto the draft, and powered past J.J. Yaley to make the Daytona 500. Jamie.
Kaz Grala, I think he has a bigger cheering section here than any other driver. Hugs all around. You are in the Daytona 500. How did you make it happen after all of that on the last lap?
I made it happen not the way I wanted to. I made a mistake. I sped on pit road, and I thought we were out of it. But I wasn't going to give up no matter what. And we got into a little line there with Kurt Busch pushing us, and we were running fast lap times, and I was hoping the timing was going to work out. It wasn't by much, but it did. We caught them in 1 and 2 on the very last lap and was able to get by the 55 for it. So pulled a couple years off my life, but it doesn't matter because we're going to be out there on Sunday, and we got a shot to win the Daytona 500. We all do, all 40 of us. So I'm really grateful. I'm excited for the Money Team Racing. Floyd Mayweather's car is going to be out there making its debut, and I'm really, really grateful to be the one holding the wheel. So we're going to have fun. This is going to be a fun ride together all year with them, and I can't wait to get it started.
Kaz, at 23 years old, what is this moment like? I mean, you took a risk. You're jumping in a race car. It's never been on the track before. This team's never run a race before. What is that like?
I mean, it's stressful, and with it being a new team, there were a lot of things that had to be done from scratch. You know, the administration of being here, the entry blanks, getting everything inside the car that I need for cooling so I stay cool in there. I mean, equipment, you name it, and we've had to start from scratch in the last 33, 35 days. And we somehow came out here, we built a car, and we made the Daytona 500. That's freaking cool, no matter who you are. So this is really big for us. I'm excited for everybody on the team, and we're going to celebrate tonight.
Floyd Mayweather is a winner. He was on FaceTime. I think he better be here on Sunday. Floyd, you're in the show.
You're right, Jamie. Brad Keselowski puts car number 6 into dual victory lane for only the second time ever. Pete Hamilton did it in 1971. Duel number 1, 4 Fords finish out front. Chase Briscoe 4th, Ryan Blaney 3rd, rookie Austin Cindric 2nd, Brad Keselowski celebrating a victory lane with wife Paige, his kids, and Edsel Ford. Here's a look at the finish. This is how they will line up behind Kyle Larson, who's already won the pole for the 500. This will be the inside lane of the Daytona 500 starting grid. With the exception of J.J. Yaley, the one car that fails to make the race and headed home. Here's Regan with the driver who finished third.
Well, it was a strong run tonight for Ryan Blaney. Up front for a good portion of the second part of this event. Couldn't quite get back past Brad after he made the move on you, but did you learn what you need to about your race car for Sunday?
Yeah, Brad surprised me where he made the move. He went early and in a spot I wasn't expecting. He did a good job on that, but yeah, I thought we learned a lot. You know, it kind of just got shaken up there after the green flag stopped, so we were kind of in our own little pack, and then the last few laps we got racing pretty hard of kind of getting runs and knowing what does what and what run you can take and expect to make the pass. So that was really good to learn. Car's one piece, so that's nice. So I appreciate Menards and Peak and Ford for what they do, and looking forward to Sunday. I think we got a pretty fast car.
All right, good luck Sunday. Thanks, Ryan.
Ryan Blaney third behind Brad Keselowski and family, and rookie Austin Cindric.
In this duel right here, Joey Logano, of course, won the Clash, Bobby.
Yeah, you got Joey Logano, obviously won the Clash, and his wife had a baby on the way home, so that was great.
Pretty good weekend.
Yeah, you got Harrison Burton, just got out of school, looks like, and he's
making
fixing a Wood Brothers start.
First Daytona 500 start for Harrison Burton.
And here's another Toyota with Christopher Bell and Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace actually won the last super speedway race we were at Talladega, and Shannon, when I look at his car, I get hungry.
You do?
I do.
Yeah, you think
I like those
Michael
fries.
will be at the Daytona 500? Michael Jordan?
Probably a pretty good shot,
Yeah,
I think.
we think it should be fun. There are some guys who are racing their way in. We, of course, saw Kaz Gralla do that on that last lap. Exciting way to end the race for Kaz. But these are the guys who are trying to race their way in. Jacques Villeneuve is in, starting 18th. Greg Biffle will be racing his way in, and of course, Timmy Hill as well.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that we learned from the first duel is that you just never give up, right? I mean, Kaz Gralla, I thought, was completely out of this, and it's shocking to me that he was able to make up the ground that he did, and he makes... I mean, it's the last lap to race your way into the Daytona 500. What an exciting way to do that. And we could hear his expression after the race, just how exciting it was. I cannot believe he is able to make that up.
Yeah, we were watching, the lead, Brad's going to win, all this stuff. The next thing you know, it's like, hey, how did he make up that extra lap? I mean, he had a pit road penalty, came back from that. That was pretty stellar.
Bobby said he's going to reach out and see if he can get some of those party glasses.
They are party glasses.
They were called party glasses.
He might have been wearing these party in the night.
He and Larry Mack.
He's going to be
Larry Mack will be good in those.
It's interesting that the guys trying to race their way in, Jacques Villeneuve and Greg Biffle. I mean, you talk about champions, right? You've got Truck Championship, Xfinity Series Championship,
Formula One World Championship.
F1 Championship.
Yeah, Indy 500.
I mean, these guys, it's been a long time for Greg since he's been in a race car of this caliber, and then, of course, for Jacques, like, what do you expect to see?
Yeah, for both of those guys, I think the big thing is just don't make any mistakes. Kaz Gralla made that mistake getting on pit road, and he had some issues with his dash. I know that Biffle also had some issues with his dash over the weekend. The thing we got to keep in mind is that they're kind of new teams, right? Yeah. And we see teams that are around for years that make mistakes, but for these guys, I think it's about just do all the simple things right.
Yeah, Greg's going to take it easy, I'm sure. He's really got to only beat one car, but at the same time, what can happen? Do they have, pit stop goes wrong, things like that could get him behind that he can't make it up. So still a lot of pressure. Still a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah, it's going to be wild out there in the duel, but it was already a wild day for Harrison Burton. He took a ride with the Thunderbirds. And Jamie, you said that when you did this.
Lord. Shannon.
No.
Shannon, I did this 15 years ago. I was sick for 3 days. I laid on the couch in my motorhome. There's no way I would be running the duel tonight, but that is one of the most crazy experiences you can have. Like, you grow up racing, you think you know. It's unbelievable how fast that plane takes off.
I did that. I had no problem.
You had a couple years on Harrison Burton. Mike Joy, what do you think? Would you call a race after flying with the Thunderbirds?
Shannon? Not very soon after, that's for sure.
Not very good anyway.
No, I don't think so. Larry, what did we learn in this last race that you're going to apply right here?
Well, I think I want to go with 2 tires, but what's going to be interesting, Mike, one of them suiting up right there, 5 Toyota drivers in this dual race.
Yeah, only one in the first race, so a big difference. And here's our eBay Motors pit performance. Look at the difference between a 2-tire stop and a 4-tire stop in duel number 1. 4.5 seconds difference.
That was about the difference from the front pack to that second pack right
Difference
there. 4
between
seconds.
winning and losing.
Brad Keselowski still celebrating. One of his co-owners, Jack Roush, was a Grand Marshal for the 24-hour race this year. Roush has 10 class wins in the 24 hours as an owner. Drivers at the ready for duel number 2 to set the outside lane for Sunday's 500. Once again, let's go trackside.
And now, race fans, he's here to say the most famous words in motorsports. Please welcome Blue Green Vacations Chief Financial Officer and Chief Operating Officer Ray Lopez, accompanied by his daughter Lily and friend Gabe.
Drivers, start your engines! Woo!
Now that's what I like to see.
Ready for duel number 2? Who will prevail?
NASCAR's biggest stars are about to duel.
Here they come to begin the duel at Daytona. Green flag.
Witness. Don't trust anybody. Nice work.
This is a total different animal right here.
It is very nerve-wracking.
Look at him go. He's got the lead.
Sparks fly in Daytona.
Get up and get by. Gas it up. Good job. Everybody's 2 by 2. You're going to race back. Keep digging.
We'll set the starting lineup for Sunday. Welcome back to the Blue Green Vacations duel on FS1. Race number 2 will set the outside lane of the starting grid for Sunday's Daytona 500. What'd you learn watching Duel 1 that you want to apply in Duel 2?
Well, first of all, I need to make sure my crew chief saw that we're going to take 2 tires. That's first and foremost, but I saw the Fords are fast. If I'm a guy like Kevin Harvick, I like what I saw there. Want to find my allies in those Fords. But this one, I really look for those Toyotas. A lot of Toyotas in this one.
Well, a big difference in the pit stop times, 2 tires versus 4. But is there anything else we saw on pit road with this new car that it looks different?
Well, I think Ryan Blaney showed us you can be very aggressive with this brake package getting on the pit road, and I'm sure a lot of drivers, especially his teammate like Joey Logano that's in this race, was paying attention. We got a couple of aggressive drivers in this race. Joey Logano is always aggressive, and never take your eye off Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the 47 starting pretty deep in the field.
A couple, you are so understated. I love it. All right, they're ready to roll off for duel number 2. Still a beautiful night here in Daytona. Track temp was 72 for race number 1, or excuse me, ambient temp 72, track temp 77. Nothing has changed. A couple of drivers have stopped exiting the pits, perhaps to index the steering wheel, as is pretty common. Here is Jacques Villeneuve, who's timed into the 500, but rolling his car down pit road. Apparently it's not going to fire.
Maybe it doesn't need to.
Well,
or does it?
The rule says you must start the duel race to maintain your spot, and I suppose leaving the starting grid.
Start-finish line right here?
Yeah.
Well, meanwhile, I'm going to dial up my old teammate Kevin Harvick. Watch this. Hey, Kevin Harvick, it's Bory up in the Fox Sports booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. Pretty mild first duel, but the Fords were fast. Obviously, you're sitting in one. What's your plan here? What do you want to feel in this race car?
I feel like a fish out of water sitting in this thing, to be honest with you. I don't know where my switches are. My pedals feel different. So I just want to race and feel all this stuff and try to get a good idea of what we need to work on, how our car is. But I think we have to race with our Busch Lights Ford Mustang to see where everything's at. Have some fun.
All right, man. Well, good luck. Obviously, we're rooting for you. I want to see you get aggressive. Get up there. Get through them. Let's do it.
See you for, man.
All right, here's the starting grid presented by Blue Green Vacations. Thanks to RL King on Twitter. Our pollster Alex Bowman has a new nickname, Bowman the Front Rowman. 5 in a row. He shares the front row with Eric Almirola, the fastest Ford in last night's qualifying. Row 2, here come the Toyotas. Martin Truex Jr. and Denny Hamlin, a 3-time dual winner.
go back to row 3. The rookie Harrison Burton won Cup start at Talladega last year. Joey Logano, the 2015 Daytona 500 winner. Back to row 4, Christopher Bell, runner-up in the duel last year, and Bubba Wallace, the last time we were at a super speedway, he won at Talladega.
How about this row, boys? Row 5, number 18, Kyle Busch, 3-time duel winner. Look for big things out of here in this race. All right, I'm going to get this right. Austin Dillon, number 3 ball, won his duel last year. Look for him. Michael McDowell, last year's 2000 Daytona 500 winner, and Ty Dillon in row 6.
Kevin Harvick in row 7, a 2-time duel winner, and Chris Buescher's finished top 10 in his duel the last 4 years in a row. Corey LaJoie was 7th in last year's duel, and Ricky Stenhouse, the July 17 Daytona winner.
Row 9, the 51 car Cody Ware making his 3rd duel start. The 27 Jacques Villeneuve, he's a winner at Indy, a Formula 1 champion, locked into the 500, but his car is on pit road right now.
In this row, here it comes, just like the first duel. Greg Biffle has to race his way in. David Reagan obviously on his outside, and then Timmy Hill. That's the battle, folks. Greg Biffle and Timmy Hill, who's going to be in the Daytona 500.
Well, Jacques Villeneuve may not make the start of this race. The hood is up on his Hesselberg number 27. They're trying to get it fired, but he was the fastest qualifier of this second duel group last night, so he's into the Daytona 500 regardless. Jamie?
Well, Mike, on pit road here, there's actually 40 boxes, but we have 42 drivers racing tonight. So that means 2 teams had to share a space. So when the first race was over, they had to move out of pit box. One of those teams was Joey Logano. They literally just got his war wagon set up in here. They're still plugging in wires. Pit crews are sweating already. They've been tripping over everything in this pit box, trying to get ready. They're just putting the tape right in the box so Joey can hit his marks. As for their driver, though, he is ready. He's strapped in. He told me there's no holding back in this race. He wants to get something out of it. And oh, by the way, there's a great trophy, and he likes trophies. Regan Smith.
Well, Jamie, just a few moments ago, we saw Kaz Grala race his way into the Daytona 500. He's a young guy that was trying to do that. Now the other end of the spectrum, Greg Biffle, an old guy that is trying to race his way into the Daytona 500. It's been 5 years since we have seen the Biff in the Cup Series. I spoke to him right as he got in the race car. He was calm, he was cool, he was collected. He studied what happened in the previous race, said, my main goal early on is going to be to not lose the packs in front of me, keep up with the draft. I can tell you, as calm as he is, I've raced against the Biff for a very long time. Once that helmet goes on, there is no fiercer competitor in the field than Greg Biffle. Look for him to make some fun out there tonight.
So Greg Biffle making a comeback here for New York Racing. One of his former teammates at Roush Racing, Matt Kenseth, is also going to make a comeback of sorts. The 2-time Daytona 500 winner will join us in the booth when we go to California.
I'm
next
looking
week.
forward to it. Always a lot of fun having Matt. Man, you're going to have your hands full, Mike.
Oh, that's what
Look
Tony
out.
Stewart said 2 weeks ago.
And you still do.
It's all good.
As I look down through this field,
there's the Busch Light Cam with Kevin Harvick ready to roll.
As I look down through this field, Larry, I see a lot more pairings in this. Just like I see with Denny Hamlin, his teammate Martin Truex right in front of him. Those guys are going to find each other, and I think you're going to see a way different role in this duel today, or right here.
You saw the Toyota Cam on board Denny Hamlin, and here's Martin Truex Jr. His camera also presented by Toyota. Joey Logano, Coke Zero onboard cam. And next we're going to fire it up with the Louisiana hot sauce cam for Ricky Stenhouse.
This is the one, all right, we saw Kyle Larson and his 2 teammates right behind him. Those 3 Hendrick cars, they had the luxury of keeping that 5 car that we know is going to sit on the pole of the Daytona 500 out of harm's way. Alex Bowman is on the outside of that front row. He's the one, no man's land. It's going to be interesting to see what that 48 car does at the start of this race.
Tonight's aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Anything can happen as long as you have the drive. Goodyear, more driven. They roll into turn 3. Bowman is elected to start on the inside. Here's Bubba Wallace and company.
Season starts tonight. Let's start off on a good note. Last time we were on Speedway, we did some great things, so let's continue that, use that momentum, pick through up into the seats, and let's get comfortable for Sunday.
His car owner turns 59 today. One of them, not Denny Hamlin. Michael Jordan.
Pretty cool cat. Got to meet him last year on the back straightaway. Spent some time with him one night. One of the neatest experiences, man, my adult life has ever seen.
60 laps, 150 miles. Fuel window just under 40 laps. Pace car is in. Front Roman Bowman brings him to green.
Already see Joey Logano pushing hard on Eric Almirola in that 10 car, going to the front in a big way. Look at this momentum. Look at the speed that they have over those cars on the inside.
Just watching that 10 car of Eric Almirola, by far the fastest Ford, and I always remember what he told Jamie Little after qualifying last night. I'm a little question how my car is going to drive when we get out there in a pack, so we'll see.
Oh, and he moves up. They get to the inside of him. Must not have liked that push. Probably going to be going to the back in a hurry right here.
Almirola did not get up to speed through the gears quickly. But then in the draft on the back straightaway pulled even and now drops toward the back of the field.
Clint, you mentioned you see Alex Bowman in that 48 car leading. You got to go all the way back out, well outside the top 5 to find the next Chevrolet driver, Austin Dillon, in that 3 car.
And basically 4 teammates as you look in the rearview mirror, 5 teammates essentially, and all those Toyotas behind him in the rearview mirror. Probably not what you want to see when you're looking out the back of the 48 if you're Alex Bowman.
20 cars in that lead pack. Jacques Villeneuve did get going, but he trails the field by about 3 seconds, Jamie.
Well, Jacques Villeneuve, as you noted, Mike, he was in pit road. They were having an issue with the throttle cable. They told him, do whatever you can do just to get out there and get 1 lap under your belt. So they're watching his speed right now, but he's going to stay out as long as he can to hopefully secure that spot for the Daytona 500.
And he's done it. He's fastest on time. He started the race. He's in the 500. That's not the first time we've heard about throttle cables this week.
And that's new because of the way the pedals are mounted on the floorboard and not hanging from the dash. You no longer use a throttle rod, use a throttle cable. Yeah, Chase Briscoe, Eric Almirola, possibly both of them had issues at the LA Coliseum.
Look at that gold foil number on the 21. Gosh, that takes me back to Neil Bonnet, to David Pearson, the Wood brothers. That gleaming gold foil, outlawed by NASCAR, chrome and foil numbers for many, many years. And this year they've said, if you want to present it, we'll look at it and we will approve it perhaps, but for the door numbers only. That's okay with me.
Heck yeah, that looks so cool. How are you going to turn that down? It's the way it ought to be.
Kevin Harvick in that 4, he made kind of a bold move to the outside, but no one up there with him.
But it's exactly what he said right there. You know, when I was talking to him, he wanted to put himself in some situations, see what his car is going to do, and I think that's exactly what you saw.
Well, Harvick just did a fine job of advancing to the rear, and now we'll sort things out.
And his teammate, Eric Almirola, we talked about it. You don't want to lose a draft. It seems very easy to lose a draft. As soon as those guys went by him, bye-bye, they're gone. Definitely fallen back and lost the draft.
Almirola trails this pack by 3 seconds. Timmy Hill by 6. Jacques Villeneuve by 13.
Just makes you wonder. You know, you heard Eric ask and have the question, the doubt in his mind after he posted that big lap. Man, is this thing going to handle? Maybe he didn't like the way those cars were pushing him, didn't like it at all, and pulled out, elected to get out of the pack.
In the past, here at Daytona, with the 6th generation car, couldn't a single car catch a group in front of them if they were 2 or 3 wide?
Especially if they're, spread out. We saw in that first duel they were single file, but I would have thought with these cars running side by side, kind of spread out the way they are, especially down this back straightaway, that you would be able to pull up to them. Not the case if it's 10 car.
Eric Almirola has fallen to 19th. We listened into his team.
My bad, we're not losing draft here. It's fine. All your gauges look okay? Yeah, all my gauges are fine. I'm not sure how much gear pressure I'm supposed to have. 10-4. I'll find out for you.
Larry, that's a new one. I've never heard that before. Where's gear pressure come from?
It's got to have something to do with that transaxle in the gearbox back there. That's all new to the next-gen car here in the Cup Series in 2022.
That exhaust out the side, glowing red, cherry red, looks so cool.
The Dillon brothers working together. Austin and Ty, they race for different teams, but there's the 3 and the 42, nose to tail. Austin for the family operation, Richard Childress Racing, and Ty for the newly formed Petty GMS Motorsports. Richard Petty, Maury Gallagher getting together with a 2-car team with the 42 and 43 for this year.
I know we're only 7 laps into this dual race of the 60 laps, but these guys, they look pretty racy right now, side by side, 2 rows deep, about 8 or 10 rows.
And I can't help but to think that that's due, in fact, of the pairing that I see. A lot more parity within the organizations. A lot of Fords in this one, but a lot more Toyotas. And I think they're all finding each other.
Alex Bowman's Chevy has led 6. Joey Logano's Ford 1 lap. Of the 7 so far, they have been side by side the whole way. Nobody giving an inch. This lap goes to Logano by 3/100ths of a second.
We have 18 drivers separated by basically about 9/100ths of a second.
Watching these guys draft and do the bump drafting, it's almost like they're more comfortable, believe it or not, pushing one another in the corner than they are down the straightaways.
Clint, is that because the car is just a little bit lighter on the straightaway and it's loaded more in the corners?
Loaded more in the corners, what I was thinking. Probably just, more load on those tires is a little bit more stability.
Do you think that'll change as we get through Sunday and these drivers learn more about what this car wants and what it needs?
I just think the crunch time. When it becomes time, you push everywhere out of necessity. You have to go.
We'll have double the fun. We go from 21 drivers to 40.
Now at the bottom of the pylon, Greg Biffle 1 second off at the tail of that lead pack, and Timmy Hill 24 seconds back. Those are the 2 drivers racing for the transfer spot. Jacques Villeneuve is already guaranteed into the field on time, and he is a half a lap back of the leaders, but he'll be in the 500. Well, Martin Truex gives that Chevy a push back out front, and the Toyotas close in on the inside lane behind him. Joey Logano trying to get back to the lead. Jamie?
Well, Mike, a lot of these drivers in the field were able to go talk to their teammates before they got in the car and get some really helpful information. Joey Logano was one of them. He talked to Austin Cindric. Austin told him what mistakes he made in pushing Blaney, told him what the car did, how it reacted, and Joey nodded his head like, okay, that gives me confidence what I need to do in my race.
Now Logano in a Team Penske Mustang, the car behind him, Harrison Burton, that's the Wood Brothers car, but that is a Penske satellite team run out of the same shop, so they are teammates in all but name.
And just like we saw in that first duel with Ryan Blaney, those Penske cars look extremely impressive.
Mike, I talked about it when we did the starting lineup. Harrison making his 2nd career start. You know what happened the last time the 21 car came to Daytona and a driver was making his 2nd career start, don't you?
I believe that was Trevor Bayne.
It was.
And he won. That also happened on February 20th, the date of this year's race. Joey Logano trying to win the duel. Alex Bowman out front. Clash at the Coliseum winner, Joey Logano, out in front of Harrison Burton. Those two Team Penske affiliate cars. Out in front here, Austin Dillon, Alex Bowman, Ty Dillon. All sharing their time at the front. Now something interesting at the back of the 22 of Logano's car, down low at the diffuser. What's flapping?
Yeah, it's got that little, it's like a flap that can come down, and it's got a cable with a ball that you can reset the tension on. It looks like to me, whether it's from being hit in the rear, we know Harrison Burton in the 21 was back there a lot, beating on the rear bumper. Knocked it loose.
Yeah, and what that is if that car goes around backwards, it's operated off the roof flap. As soon as that roof flap goes up, it pulls and releases that cable, letting that thing down, cutting the airflow off the car, and keep that thing on the ground, keep it from flipping over. Might keep it in the lead too, but not for long.
New leader, the Dillon brothers have come to the front. Austin and Ty with Chris Buescher on the outside, trying to join his teammate Brad Keselowski as a dual winner tonight.
Remember, I spoke about Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in that 47 car. There he is, started pretty deep in the field, and he's up there on the outside right behind Chris Buescher in that 17. That's actually Kevin Harvick. Yeah, now Stenhouse is on the outside. Harvick's behind Stenhouse.
And those two are going to work well together. Kevin talked about it, wanted to feel it out, maybe put himself in a situation he didn't like, got back up, rebounded, and look at him.
Denny Hamlin, three-time Daytona 500 winner, back in 14th place, comparing this race with duel number 1.
We're not going to go anywhere. I really don't like the energy right now. I don't like the energy right now. I think we need to back out of this.
I don't like the energy right now. I think we need to back out of this, is what Hamlin said.
Does that mean he doesn't like how they're racing in front of him, thinking possibly a crash, doesn't like what he sees?
Is energy a code word?
Well, energy can be a lot of different things. You know, the energy from momentum and things like that. People, you know, as they compress one another, catching one another. A block right there. Chris Buescher almost pulled up in front of Ricky Stenhouse. Those are the kinds of things that I think Denny Hamlin saw and didn't like.
Larry, you said there are 2 aggressive drivers in this race?
And there they are, both 2 times to the front.
2 times how many?
Hey, but what does it take to have success on a racetrack like this? I mean, Larry, you crew chief for him. It takes aggression and a lot of it.
And I'm pretty impressed with Kevin Harvick in that 4 car. No speed whatsoever in qualifying, but it looks like he's got a good race car, a car that's handling well.
Already 4 times as many lead changes in this duel. There were only 2 in the prior duel.
And I can't help but to think it's just like we're rewound last season. You know, everybody always used to say when we would come to Daytona and Talladega, that nose, the nose on the Ford, how round it was, shaped like a bull nose. It helped them push just like you see in here. And then the point of the Chevrolet and the Toyotas, it kept them from doing what they wanted to do. They always complained, man, those Ford guys can be more aggressive. And honestly, it's just like you're seeing that all over again in 2022.
Yeah, we saw it in practice on Tuesday evening.
Lap 20. The train is on the top. Single file. Top behind you. All good.
That is the 47. That's Tab Boyd. Spotting for Ricky Stenhouse.
New spotter for them.
Yep.
New spotter combination for him and Ricky.
But Clint, this is different from Duel 1. We never saw the line go to the top of the racetrack like this group is doing.
Yeah, but I don't think they tried. You know, Ricky brought them up and found it right off the bat. The thing I do like about this, you can guarantee yourself until the end of this run, until push comes to shove and somebody wants to, they're going to stay right there or they're going to go to the back.
Now, last year, in a dual race in which all 3 makes had multiple cars, the Fords pitted first, the Toyotas as a group pitted second, and the Chevys pitted third. Now, that was last year, whole different race car. 21 laps complete. Chris Buescher in front. We're going to take you Fox side by side.
Everybody thinks they can win Daytona. I want to be in the show and intend to win this thing.
I think women can bring a whole different perspective.
I want to be known as Daytona 500 winning Spire Motorsports team.
Can't get it straight, I'll just fire everybody.
Daytona's a place where magic can happen.
Road to Daytona, the groundbreaking series, streaming now only on Fox Nation.
Get the truck that's built to serve right from your living room with Ram eShop. Search, find, and buy your perfect truck online and get delivery from the comfort of your own home. Credit approval, price, and payment calculations all made quick, easy, and safe. The keys are just a click away with Ram's eShop. Now, during the Ram President's Day sales event, get $3,550 in total values on the 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab.
It's still the E-Fresh Refresh, and Subway's refreshing everything, like the new honey mustard rotisserie style chicken. It's sweet, it's tangy, it's tender, it never misses.
You could say it's a Steph Curry of footlong.
You could, but I'm not gonna. Subway keeps refreshing and refreshing and
Is there anything better than the sound of 3 races breathing life into a new NASCAR season? What about if it's at a state-of-the-art facility with stunning views of the Estrella Mountains and a famous, only one-of-its-kind hillside? Well then, you must be talking about Phoenix Raceway. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com. Brace for impact. This is awesome. It's Friday Night SmackDown on Fox. As the baddest superstars on the planet are unleashed in prime time. All new Friday Night SmackDown, sponsored by Progressive at 8 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
There's a reputation on the track, one that screams, bring it, loud enough so the whole world will see it coming. I am the NASCAR Xfinity Series. I am NASCAR.
24 laps complete in the second 150-miler at Daytona, the one that determines the outside lane of the starting grid for the 500. Chris Buescher, the leader. Ricky Stenhouse in second. Something else that's new about this brand new 7th generation car is that in addition to rear view mirrors, they also have a rear view camera that projects on a mirror. You see Stenhouse looking up at his center rear view mirror and then down toward the dash at the output from that camera on a screen that is shaped like an inside rear view mirror. Now obviously the lens of that camera is going to be a little different from what you see on the mirror, and that's going to take some adapting for these drivers.
100%, and maybe that's what he's practicing, is just trying to figure out which one of those he's going to trust, because they're definitely drastically different. I don't know if you've ever drove a car, a passenger car. Some of these new ones have those cameras in them now, and you can flip it over. My wife's car, you can do that, and I'm telling you, I go old school. That camera thing scares me. I don't know if I trust it yet.
You flip the camera over. I've got a new rental car. I'm trying to figure out how to go between the heat and the air.
Well,
you're in Florida. What are you doing with the heat on?
We had those cameras in the motor coach, and I just lined up the left side and listened for the right.
Keep it between the mayonnaise and the mustard. That's my rule of thumb.
Greg Biffle, 9th place, right in the middle of that lead pack. And here come the Toyotas.
Are coming. They are coming.
Whoa! Denny Hamlin
spins out.
Watch, sit tight, sit tight.
It obviously hurts Denny Hamlin, but it's going to hurt the Toyota's effort because they've lost one of their guys.
Regan?
Well, Kyle Busch on the top right of the screen. 2 tires for him, as you see. Only thing they've been working on is communication with him and Tony Hirschman about where the runs are coming from. Jamie?
Denny Hamlin got it turned back around. Now he pulls into his pit box. His teammates, they took right sides only. Of course, they're going to check all 4 tires for that 11 as they work the left side of the car now. So he's way off the pace, as you guys said. He lost his running mates, and now he's down and away.
Let's see what caused Hamlin to lock him up and lose control entering pit road.
I think you could hear it in the drive line. I heard it kind of, you know, you see it right there. Wheel lock up and just spun. spun around trying to stay off of his teammate in front of him, and then when he gassed up in the grass, spun all the way around, which is why they elected to go ahead and just put 4 tires on it.
Yeah, you can see the front tires locked up right there.
But I saw the left rear locking up as well. And in that in-car camera right there, you can actually hear, I know with this car, with this new transmission, the way we have it, you hear it kind of bouncing, hopping with that rear drive line. The way it went.
Hamlin's known for being extra aggressive getting onto pit road with the occasional speeding penalty coming in. And with these new brakes with 30% more effectiveness than last year and these wider tires, did he just maybe grab for a little too much?
Well, and Clint, one thing they still have on this car versus the old car is the adjustment between front and rear bias. And there's a lot that goes on there for you coming on the pit road.
Absolutely. And I saw it just like you did, Larry. I did see those front tires lock up, but I also thought that I saw that left rear smoking as well. So he had all 4 of them locked up, and man, it went around in a hurry.
Now, what do you do if you're Ricky Stenhouse and you're second in line? Do you pit with the Fords you're racing with, or do you wait for the other Chevrolets?
I think I'm going to stay right there with my dancing partner.
The Chevrolet contingent is just not that stout in this dual race.
You have the Dillon brothers 7th and 8th, Biffle in 9th, Corey LaJoie in 14th, and Alex Bowman, our Daytona 500 pole sitter, has dropped to 16th.
Now, what I want to watch is lap times on these Toyotas to see how they match up with that lead group, to see if they're making up ground. Because if they keep losing ground, that's not going to be good, even with that other group coming to pit road under green.
Last lap up front, 47 seconds. Last lap for those Toyotas, 48.5.
So they're giving up a second and a half, second and 3/4.
And one thing, I don't want to make this mistake again, guys. We watched that it right there at the end, didn't catch it. Greg Biffle running 9th right here. Do not make a mistake. When you decide to pit, man, take it easy. Do not make a mistake and take yourself out of this.
All Biffle needs to do to make the Daytona 500 is finish on the lead lap. His competition, Timmy Hill, is already 1 lap down. RFK Racing, Roush Fenway Keselowski trying to sweep the duels. The last organization to do that was Hendrick Motorsports in 2015. Sure is a nice rebound for this group from the Busch Light Clash 2 weeks ago.
100%. You know they're all smiles. Brad's, man, he's happy about his win, but now he's watching his other car do the same exact thing, leading this race, the second duel at Daytona. That's a big shot in the arm for that organization.
And Mike, you may ask me, when do I anticipate this group here pitting? Well, they can probably run another 8 to 9 laps, and I would keep going here because they continue to put more and more real estate on that Toyota group that's already been to pit road.
47 flat for Chris Buescher, 48.30 for the Toyotas.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, Larry. Just sitting in the catbird seat, they're sitting there taking a pull off of the Toyotas in front of them, utilizing that and gaining on them. I mean, total.
They're gaining on them and getting a tow from them too.
Best case scenario. Before you know it, they're going to be able to lift and save some fuel. I would say as soon as they catch them, that's when you catch them and then pit.
I think the Fords are coming right now. I think they're going to come on this lap. But I'm like you, Stenhouse, you got to come with these guys.
Well, he's in a really good situation. They are going to come right here, and he's going to come with them.
Logano coming in hot on the inside, and they're 3 wide coming to pit road under green. Jamie.
Joey Logano, you see how quickly he had to check up. He was just the 3rd pit box on pit road. Remember, that first race, they only took right sides. Joey Logano, quick stop there, down and away for the 22, Regan.
Well, Chris Buescher with the 17 car, he has been very happy with that race car. Not a word on the radio. And the 4 of Kevin Harvick, the only reminder was to not slide the tires so they could take 2.
Well, the Chevys all came in with them, and there was a miscue between the Dillon brothers. There was contact on pit road between Austin and Ty.
And just watching pit road, who's going to really lose the draft is Greg Biffle in that 44 car. They've just been sitting there. I mean, I don't know if it's not taking fuel.
Oh, no.
They just way too much time.
The only thing you couldn't afford to do.
Don't beat yourself.
So much pressure on those guys, those teams all across the board.
Now Biffle is still on the lead lap, just barely. Timmy Hill 1 lap down as they race for the final spot in the Daytona 500. Looking back from Joey Logano at Chris Buescher, the 2nd place car. Michael McDowell 3rd, Harrison Burton 4th, Kevin Harvick 5th, all in Fords. Ricky Stenhouse right with that group, but now in 6th place. Let's show you the contact on pit road between the Dillons.
I think Austin missed his pit stall.
Yeah, he was way too far to the outside of pit road for how early his stall was on.
Sure was.
On there, and that caught Ty unaware.
And right now with 26 to go, this group here led by Joey Logano, who's leading the race, they're about the distance of the back straightaway in front of that Toyota group.
Eric Almirola has just pitted, so has Jacques Villeneuve, but Villeneuve overshot his pit and goes back out. Quite a moment for Denny Hamlin here as he tried to get on pit road, but he has recovered and he is still on the lead lap. .22 laps to go. It's a 4-car breakaway. All Fords, Logano, Buescher, McDowell, and Burton. They have lost Kevin Harvick and Ricky Stenhouse. There was a plan in place for those Fords up front to fan out double wide so that Harvick could catch back up to them. However, that didn't happen, and Harvick was not happy.
At 21, I'm not doing anything. I'm working, trying to get too far behind now. They total. I hear you. I've been on them since she started here. Yeah, the Penske cars called the fanning out off. So, yes, he said they screwed us. Just keep doing what we're doing here. We got a long way to go.
And what that means, and honestly, a little bit of a rookie thing right there. If you look in your mirror and you see one of your allies or your teammates, you know, a Ford ally right there and some help with Kevin Harvick, if he's lagging back a little bit and having trouble, fan that thing out, spread out a little bit, create a bigger wake and let him pull up, because effectively all the Fords as a one are going to be stronger than just 4 of them. But as you heard them say, maybe Penske pulled that off, called it off, thought that it wasn't worth it.
So now with 21 laps to go, the speed disparity between the Ford group and the Toyota group is gone. Last lap, the Toyotas were 0.3 of a second faster than the 4 Fords out front.
Again, hence the frustration in Harvick.
Yep.
Yeah, with 20 laps to go, they're about a little over 10 seconds behind. This group right here that we're looking at, these 4 Ford drivers, they're going to have to stay pretty organized and stay tucked up if they want to maintain.
Jacques Villeneuve has gone behind the wall, but his speed will get him into the Daytona 500 on Sunday. There are the Toyotas going past Ricky Stenhouse and Kevin Harvick. 4 seems to be the magic number of a group of cars to maintain top speed.
But if I'm them, if I'm Toyota and I'm catching them, I'm going to fan out and help those guys help me.
And as they were catching those cars, Mike, it really helped their lap time for a couple of laps.
Well, had Stenhouse not had such a big gap between himself and Harvick, that might have held those Toyotas up a bit.
And you can see Stenhouse pulled up to them. He didn't lose it. Harvick is having trouble hanging on to that draft, but I think they're going to fan out, get him up there, and utilize him to their advantage.
Can you believe how quickly one car, any car, can lose touch with the draft and become detached from it?
Well, I hate to say it, but that's 2 SHR cars, and it looks like Kevin's going to lose that draft. And the 10 car of Eric Almirola, his teammate, did the same thing.
47 by when that Toyota group was coming like that.
Oh, that was Rodney Childers, the crew chief, to Kevin Harvick.
I don't know if that was to Kevin Harvick.
Oh, to the spotter, Tim Fedewa?
Maybe.
Or just to anybody.
Yeah, I mean, the last time by the Toyotas, they were down in the 47-teens, 47-20s. That group of Fords at the front, 47-70s, so a good half a second that last lap or two.
Well, with 18 laps to go, if they can maintain that advantage, they'll all be together at the checkered flag. Greg Biffle is still in the transfer spot. He's got Alex Bowman working with him now. 2 Chevrolets in tow. Bowman will start the 500 from the pole, and Biffle is in position to roll from row number 19 on Sunday.
Looking pretty right now, having that 48 that you know he's going to be an ally to you, help that other Chevrolet. Pretty good company right there. If you're Greg Biffle, you're liking what you see.
I think Bowman's very content to run right there.
Sure. And with Timmy Hill 3 laps down, Biffle's position in Sunday's race is pretty assured.
Yeah, with 17 to go, if they stay organized like they are, even though the Toyotas have picked up another car with Stenhouse, it's not going to be enough time. They're still sitting there 9-10 seconds behind.
Joey Logano out front. Chris Buescher. Logano's now led 18 laps. Buescher earlier led 16. 7 for Alex Bowman, 2 for Austin Dillon, and 1 for Ricky Stenhouse.
Well, what a few days Joey Logano had a couple of weeks ago. He won the Busch Light Clash at the LA Coliseum, came home 2 days later. His baby girl, his 3rd child, Amelia, was born.
Bubba Wallace in 8th place, 9 seconds off the lead, but right in the middle of that group of Toyotas.
You know, you say your math, and the one thing I do like about this Toyota pack, now they're catching a teammate, Denny Hamlin, that had that trouble on pit road. He is leading a 3-car brigade right in front of them. They're going to get the pull off of that one. That's going to help them probably attach Denny Hamlin. That may be enough to catch them as we get down to the closing laps and catch these Fords.
I'll say it helped them down in the 46s, 46-90s that lap.
Oh, Clint, see, told you.
No, it's great observation because the 4 Fords have nobody in front of them to even sniff a draft off of. Well, Joey Logano has not yet lost a race in 2022. He'll come to the line with 14 to go.
Okay, they caught that line of 3 as you see them going to the outside right here. Be interesting to see. Keep your eye on Denny Hamlin, the 11 in the FedEx car. He's going to try to get up there behind them and help them as quick as possible here.
That group is 8 seconds behind this group leading the race.
And they just ran 8/10 quicker than that group leading the race.
So those 4 Toyotas on the lead lap will pull around. Hamlin will try to attach himself to them. And there's Hamlin. Yep, moving up behind Bubba Wallace. And now we'll see if that 6-car train is faster than the 4-car lead pack.
If they have a chance, that's going to be how it happens. Strength in numbers always on a track like Daytona, and that's exactly what they've assembled.
47.60 for the leader Logano that lap. Kyle Busch's lap was about the same, but they were double wide, completing that pass on that lap. We'll check it next time around.
Yeah, they were very unorganized that time, and that hurt them about a second that lap from the last lap.
Well, it was a transition lap, right? They had to go side by side, transition back into play. But this is where they really got to get crunched in. You got to tighten that pack, tighten that train right here, and really push hard on one another, which is exactly what you see Christopher Bell doing to Kyle Busch.
Joey Logano and Chris Buescher thinking ahead to the final laps of this race.
Can the 17 get there? Do I have to help him get there? I'll ask. He's got to help us. The 22's got to help us if he wants us to push him. He says he's going to need a little bit of help to get there. He's going to get there when you're all hurt.
So Chris Buescher saying he's going to need a little help. And there they are in touch. First and second place cars. 47.26 last time. The Toyota's half a second slower. We'll check it this time as they come around for 11 to go.
And the Fords now, they're catching a couple of cars that's up there nose to tail, and their lap times reflect it. They picked up to the 47.20s and 30s.
I'm losing hope, Larry.
47.40 for Joey Logano leading the first pack. And Kyle Busch this time 47.75, about 4/10 slower. Jamie.
Jacques Villeneuve is out of this race, but he's in the Great American Race on Sunday. What does it mean to you to make the field for the Daytona 500?
Oh, it's great. I'm happy we made it on time, because with the issues we had today, it would have been terrible. And good we had them today, not on Sunday.
See you on Sunday. You guys able to fix it tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, we'll be able to fix it. No issues.
All right, one more practice tomorrow night, Mike.
Indy 500 champ, Formula One World Driving Champion, and he'll be in his first Daytona 500 on Sunday.
Okay, they're catching those two cars of Greg Biffle and Alex Bowman in the 48. That's only going to help them even more. I can't help but to think, Larry.
Yeah, they just shot down almost 47 flat. It's actually helped them the last 3 or 4 laps.
Lap cars stay high. 10 to go. Logano, Buescher, McDowell, Burton. Who do you like if it comes down to these 4? And it probably will.
Remember what I said about being aggressive? That man leading this pack's pretty aggressive.
I agree 100%.
Michael McDowell got into both the Penske cars at the front on the last lap of the Daytona 500 last year, found himself in victory lane, and he started the last lap in much the same position he's in now. Now, of course, way more at stake then than there is tonight. And rookie Harrison Burton, man, I'd just be thrilled to be there.
He is doing a good job doing exactly what he needs to do with his teammates right there, his allies again with the Penske cars. These guys are doing a great job, and honestly, they're just staying efficient, staying tight to one another. You can see Chris Buescher pushing Logano again, just helping their lap times, do everything he can do.
Everything's just falling in line for these leaders now. Now there's 4 cars in front of them nose to tail that they're catching.
Yeah, that'll be the Dillon brothers, Eric Almirola and Corey LaJoie, just going past. They're still on the lead lap, but not by much, as you see. Logano last time 47.37. Kyle Busch 2/10 slower, leading the Toyota back. And not that the Toyota drivers did anything wrong. They had a little dust up, maybe a couple lost a half a second on the Denny Hamlin problem getting onto pit road, but they formed back up. They got out there, just don't seem to have the speed that these Fords do tonight.
No, they don't. And again, it takes me back to what I said a little bit ago. For whatever reason, the Fords they don't seem to show up in qualifying. They don't have that sheer speed by themselves, but boy, you put them out there in a pack in a draft and they always shine.
There is the gap and how it has increased. All right, Logano coming up on a little too wide traffic. Corey LaJoie moved up, and now Logano has to go to the high side to pass Austin Dillon. You know how long it's been since both dual races went caution free? And no, I'm not trying to jinx this. 2003 was the last time that happened.
You know, you talk about good race cars and maybe not having the qualifying speed. Quite honestly, that's what's impressive to me about that 21 car in Harrison Burton and Wood Brothers. They had good speed in qualifying, and that car seems like it's able to run up there and driving good for Harrison.
I think they have a good limit on their adjustments. You know, I know it's impound procedure with this, but you know, these shocks fully adjustable on both sides of that, taking the dampening out of it, changing all of that stuff. I just feel like that's playing a big role in the handling of these cars. They feel like they look like they're stable. They seem to race good. They bump draft good. It's all good things for Sunday. Don't forget, folks, the old pay window's not open yet.
No, right. 4 Fords from 4 different teams out in front here. Team Penske, RFK Racing, Front Row Motorsports, and the Wood Brothers. Austin Dillon coming to pit road. And that will put him well back in the starting lineup for Sunday as he takes on right side tires.
Yeah.
Well, Ford swept the top 4 spots in Duel 1. They're in position to do it again.
Well, his teammate Brad Keselowski, we saw him make the move with 4 to go. Is he going to try to do it that early? I thought that was kind of a mistake, but it played obviously the role for Brad and winning this thing. I looked for him to wait for maybe at least 2 to go.
But I think you definitely don't wait to 1 to go, right?
No. Yeah, you know, I like Michael McDowell being behind me. If I'm Chris Buescher, I do like that scenario. But you know Harrison Burton's probably going to latch onto that 22 and go with him.
Four laps to go. That's Timmy Hill on the high side. 3, now 4 laps down. And Hill likely to be the one car in this race that does not transfer into the Daytona 500. Greg Biffle, 1 lap down in 12th.
Half by half, half by half. 3 laps to go here at the line. Half by half.
Coleman Presley talking to Joey Logano. What's he mean half by half?
Well, I think he's you know, half a car length back, staying right there. And exactly what you want to see. But again, if you're Chris Buescher right here, you're setting him up. You want to stay back a little bit so you can get that drive. See, 3/4. Now he's fell back a little bit, going to pounce on him, get it, going to run. Maybe it happens right here as soon as he catches him. Be ready for it.
1 lapped car in the distance ahead of Logano. We'll give him he'll be able to sniff a little bit of a draft here.
I feel like you have to give that gap. But you're going to have to back up to that car behind you and Michael McDowell and get that big push, get the run on Joey Logano to make a move.
Austin Dillon up high after making that pit stop for tires. And the leaders come by to the inside. It'll be 2 to go.
Trying to catch him off guard, just like you talked about with Brad. You know, he caught him off guard. You heard Ryan Blaney say, I didn't expect him to go. When he did, caught me off guard and went off and won the race.
Clint, you talked about it. We're down to 2 to go now, so we'll be coming to the white flag this next time by, half a lap from now.
And they'll catch Kevin Harvick probably right about at start finish. Harvick lost the draft from Stenhouse and is now,
which is an opportunity. Exactly what I'm looking for if I'm Chris Buescher, catching some car in Kevin Harvick. Now watch this. Going to go by him, hopefully use a side draft or something off him to your advantage.
White flag waves, 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Does Chris Buescher have a move? He's now backed up to McDowell. Half a car length to the leader, Logano. He's got to go to the bottom.
Oh!
And he can't get there, and he wrecks Logano.
Logano blocked. Logano moved down, blocked. I hate to say it. He was under him and got a pretty big block right there. You knew it was going to be aggressive, and unfortunately, cost him. I want to watch a replay, but that's how I feel like I saw that.
The white flag had waved, so the next flag ends the race. And Joey Logano, who was in a position to win his duel, is all crumpled up on the apron.
And it will be where those cars were at the moment of caution. Has nothing to do with scoring loops.
And Greg Biffle will come across on the lead lap or excuse me, 1 lap down in 13th place. And Biffle will take New York Racing to the Daytona 500 on Sunday.
You knew it was coming. And just like I said, as they caught that lap traffic, that gave him that opportunity, got him crunched up, got a run, made his move to the inside.
Waiting on the unofficial results, Harrison Burton, we believe, is 3rd. And is it Chris Buescher or Michael McDowell who was in front at the moment of caution? And that is determined by the NASCAR officials. They have a button they hit that illuminates the caution lights and freezes the scoring. And then NASCAR also uses video evidence to determine the order of finish when the caution occurs on the final lap of the race.
You can see him backing up a little bit here, gets the push off of Michael McDowell and sets this up for the exit of turn 2.
They clear David Reagan.
Goes for the move to the inside, and I called it, and I knew Joey moved down to make a block. You knew he was going to have to, went for it, and unfortunately got turned around and wrecked.
We'll take a second look.
I want to see when his caution come out too.
Buescher dives to the inside, fills Logano's mirror. He comes down and they collide. Look at McDowell slamming on the brakes along with Burton. They get through.
Yes, but when does his caution come out? Because Chris Buescher is still ahead of him right now. And 17's your winner. I'm getting a thumbs up over here, boys. Chris Buescher, number 17, your winner.
Well, Michael McDowell just barely got by there in that 34 car. You could see right there the caution light was on, and that 17 was in front of the 34.
McDowell appeared to hit Logano, sending him spinning, and that loss of momentum right there might have cost him the race, because Chris Buescher is going to celebrate his first dual win in his 7th start after a wild finish here. And Roush Fenway Keselowski sweeps the duels.
How about that?
It was a rough trip to LA for him, but boy, they have rebounded here so far.
Florida's good to him. Stay in Florida.
Regan Smith.
Oh, victorious Chris Buescher climbs from the race car. Very exciting finish to this race, Chris. A little bit of contact on the back straightaway there. Talk me through it in your eyes and tell me about this victory. Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing, what a day.
Yeah, that's what a way to start Speed Weeks out here, right? To put both RFK Ford Mustangs victory lane. Get Fastenal their first win on a Cup car. I know it's not the big show, but we got a really good hot rod here. So just hats off to everybody back at the shop. I know it's been a hectic off season for everybody in our sport, right? But we've had a lot of changes going on, and that's it's cool to see it play out. So, you know, I think we were racing there. I think Brad talked about it. We got to race because he kept his clean and won. So we got to go out there and race it. And I know everybody's trying to do the same and trying to throw a block there at the end. I don't want to get into him, just trying to pull down and get in front of the 15 there. But I don't want it to happen that way for sure. But I am really proud of the effort, proud of a nice, good execution all the way down pit road. And we're in a good spot here. That's exciting.
Chris Buescher, duel number 2 winner.
Let's go back and take another look, and we're going to try to show for you the moment of caution. First, this replay, Buescher, as he explained, just trying to get down in front of David Reagan, and Joey Logano comes down in front of him, and they hit right front to left rear. Logano goes in the wall, and no, McDowell did not touch him. It was Harrison Burton who got into Logano after that. Now, using the Fox Ghost car, there is the moment of caution, the timestamp that goes on the video. Buescher was below the yellow line, but he was in the act of avoiding the collision, and so he is your winner. The last time a Roush car went to victory lane in the Cup Series was the summer of 2017 here with Ricky Stenhouse. Former Roush driver Greg Biffle is going to be in the Daytona 500 on Sunday. A calamitous finish to dual race number 2. In the gray jacket, that's a new co-owner of Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing, Brad Kay. After celebrating his win, He comes over to help Chris Buescher celebrate, and Jack Roush is in victory lane as well. First time since 2015 a team has swept the dual races. Hendrick Motorsports, and there's the cat in the hat. Jack Roush enjoying the celebration. Great to see him here at the track. A former Roush driver also races his way into the 500. Regan.
Well, my Greg Bispel has made 14 starts in the Daytona 500 previous to this. I don't know that you've ever had to work as hard to get in as you did tonight. Congratulations.
Thanks. I mean, it was a tough go. I got to thank Chevy and RCR and Hendrick Engines and Jay Guy. The car drove so good. And this was a last-minute deal. These team guys thrown together. We had trouble getting fuel in the car. I ran out of gas with 2 laps to go, so 25 pounds of fuel pressure. Everything happened tonight, but we finished 14th. And, you know, I'm glad maybe that fuel stop wasn't perfect because I might have been in that wreck.
Greg Biffle, he'll race in the Daytona 500.
Earns the 38th starting spot. Jamie Little is over by the Advent Healthcare Center waiting to talk to Joey Logano as you see his car hauled away. Chris Buescher celebrates in victory lane. Coming up next, the Emmy Award-winning series 100,000 Cameras, with the story of the groundbreaking clash at the Coliseum as told by you, the fans, is right here on FS1. But first, we've got to set the field for the Daytona 500 and take one more look at this last lap between Joey Logano and Chris Buescher. David Reagan to the inside. Buescher makes his move, and he and Logano get together. Here's Jamie.
And Joey Logano has been checked and released and says he's okay. But Joey, you just saw the replay there. What were you thinking and seeing in that moment?
I just made a mistake. Dang it, I didn't think the run would come that quick. You know, it just seemed like it happened really quick. Even watching the replay, it happened quicker than I thought it would. You know, I knew the run was going to happen at some point in the last lap. I thought that was pretty early. I didn't think it would happen there, and the speed that it happened was quicker than I thought, and thought I was still clear, and I wasn't. So, apologize to my race team. Wrecked their car. I tore up the 21 as well. So, it's a dumb move. You know, we're in position to, at worst, finish 4th, and just blew it.
Thanks, Joey. Mike?
Thanks, Jamie. Yes, Harrison Burton was the car that tagged Logano and sent him spinning around after the contact with the wall. Sunday, it's the biggest day in stock car racing. The Great American Race kicks off the NASCAR season at 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Pacific, only on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Jack Roush chimney sweep as Roush Fenway Keselowski sweeps the duels here at Daytona. Duel 1 very tame. Duel 2 was just fine till that last lap. And then everybody got together. What we learn? What are you looking forward to for Sunday?
Well, I'm looking more forward to anything. We're going to put all 40 of them out there together. We're going to mix them all. We had them in 2 separate bowls tonight. Now we're going to mix them all together. And, of course, it's the Daytona 500. And, you know, it's all bets are off. Everybody comes down here with the feeling, I can win this thing just like Michael McDowell did a year ago.
Honestly, for me, leading into these duels, I didn't have much of a surprise. Kind of what I expected. A lot of tiptoeing around, a lot of learning with this new car. So many different variables. The pit stops, problems on pit road with Denny Hamlin, the 3-time champion of this race. Everybody's learning these 500s, but man, RFK winning both races.
How about that?
Huge shot in arm for that team. Very proud of all those guys.
I think for me, how quickly the runs came. As Joey Logano pointed out, that surprised him, and how quickly any car can lose the draft and get completely disassociated with that lead pack. Now the big question is, Larry, do they fix that car? Do they go to a backup? What's next for the 22?
Yeah, we know they have 2 backups down here, and that's what they're looking at right now. We've already found out earlier in some testing that these cars can be repaired quite quickly. Do they want to do that? We have 2 more days down here of practice before the race on Sunday. I'm sure there will be a lot of brain thrust looking at that car. What do we do?
Well, there's Chris Buescher, who will start 4th in the Daytona 500. The front row was earned last night. Larson and Bowman. The next second row tonight by Team RFK, Keselowski and Buescher. Have a rookie behind them, Austin Cindric. Michael McDowell, last year's winner. And on back, the Toyotas will all be in line pretty much. Rows 6, 7, and 8 there. And Joey Logano, instead of row 2, it'll be row 10. Kevin Harvick back in the 11th row.
See a lot of those Hendrick cars going to start pretty deep in the field.
And Denny Hamlin, again, I said it, 3-time champion of this race, going to be starting in the back.
Here is the rest of your field, along with the drivers who fell back on their time to make the race. Noah Gragson and Jacques Villeneuve. J.J. Yaley and Timmy Hill are the two drivers who will not be in the Daytona 500 on Sunday. Larry Mack, thanks for joining us. Happy Thursday.
I had a blast. Yep. I'll be in the studio tomorrow myself.
All right, it'll be a full moon in Charlotte too, and you'll hear from Shannon Spake and the studio right after this.
Well, the 2022 duels are in the books. The big winner on the night, of course, Jack Roush, Brad Keselowski, Roush, Fenway, Keselowski Racing. I asked you guys earlier today which new team could come out of the gate strongest, and this was one of the ones that were on our list, certainly. We didn't know that this was going to happen. Brad Keselowski winning duel number 1, Chris Buescher winning duel number 2. The last time Buescher went to victory lane in the Cup Series was 2016 at Pocono. So as we start to wrap things up here tonight, it's interesting because 24 hours ago, Bobby, we were talking about Hendrick Motorsports and the Chevys and just how fast they were in qualifying. And now it's all about that Ford power. What stood out to you?
Yeah, it really is. You know, we've talked about this for many years. I mean, Hendrick's always shows up, the Chevrolet shows up, and they win the pole, you know, pretty much sweep the top 10. Then all of a sudden when the race starts, Fords do have a dominant race car for the race. We see it again. I asked Kyle Larson earlier if they were trimmed out or not trimmed out. He wasn't sure, you know, exactly. But, you know, it's not the Daytona 500 yet, but tonight definitely showed that Fords are pretty strong.
Yeah, one of the guys making his first start in the Daytona 500, Harrison Burton, finished 3rd in the duel. He is down in Daytona with Regan Smith.
Harrison Burton finishes in 3rd place. A little bit of drama at the end of the race, so we saw the contact with you and Joey Logano after he got spun around. First off, how is your race car? Second off, a rookie in the Daytona 500. Are you ready?
We'll find out. I mean, I feel like our team worked really well together tonight, and we're in position late, you know, and that's all you can ask for. We had a really fast Ford Motorcraft, Dex Imaging Mustang, and gosh, just hate that we're damaged. Hate that Joey got crashed. Felt like it was good to finally work with Joey and build some rapport with him and try and figure out what he does in the draft and what I do in the draft. And you know, I feel like we built some there, and there's some for me to get better at, and you know, I learned a lot, and that's all you can ask for.
Thanks, Harrison.
That's a good sign, right? You learned a lot. How much can you learn in a 60-lap race?
So he had a complete night for a rookie. He made Kevin Harvick, the champ, mad at one point in the race, and then came home with a decent finish. But pretty big blow to Penske and to Wood Brothers, because Joey's car, obviously, they're going to go to a backup. And it looked like he had pretty substantial damage to the front of his car as well. So busy night, next 2 nights probably for those 2 organizations.
Yeah, busy night for our 2nd place finisher as well. Regan Smith is standing by with the defending Daytona 500 champ.
Well, Michael McDowell previously came to Daytona 500 a year ago and won it. Very close to winning your first dual race tonight. What is it about you and having success at this place?
Oh, we just have fast Ford Mustangs. Really proud of Blake Harris and everybody on this Loves Travel Stop Ford Mustang. It was close coming to that last lap. Barely missed Joey there, but they can't blame me for this one, right? But yeah, we had a fast car. The Ford guys executed really well on pit road. That's a big part of what got us out front there. So everything's going smooth. It's good. You know, it's good to be back up front, and it was good to run hard too, be aggressive, see what my car needs. I learned some stuff for Sunday. We'll make some fine-tune adjustments, and we'll be ready to race on Sunday.
All smiles for Michael McDowell.
That smile has been on his face all weekend long because, of course, we talked to him after practice, and he was fast in practice. And now, I mean, just the defending champ. What do you think?
Well, I mean, and what we talked about earlier, he's really fast at these racetracks.
Really
you know, and it proved again tonight. The Fords did work together, and he was able to miss that wreck by just a little bit. Almost came home with the victory. So exciting for him. Looking forward to Sunday's race.
Yeah, I mean, and Michael McDowell is just consistently there when we get to super speedway races, and that's why he was able to win the 500 last year, again in a great position tonight. What a way for him to start with his new crew chief, Blake Harris.
Big smile on his face. All right, tomorrow, the schedule, let's take a look at it. We have truck qualifying at 3 Eastern, and then 6:30 we have NASCAR race day, getting you ready for all things trucks, and then followed by the Camping World Truck Series racing from Daytona, presented by Blue Emu. And on Saturday, we are very busy, everybody, here on FS1. We've got 11 a.m. Cup final practice, Xfinity Series qualifying, Race Hub, ARCA race, Xfinity race day, and then, of course, we're going to wrap things up with the Xfinity Series race, 300 miles at Daytona. And on Sunday, it's a day that we've all been counting down to. Well, Larry Mack has. Coverage begins at 11 a.m. right here on FS1, and then at 1 p.m. we move over to race day, followed on Fox, followed by the 64th running of the Great American Race. This was the big event, and duel number 2. Jamie Little has a report on Joey Logano.
Well, crew chief Paul Wolf just getting a look at his 22 machine that Joey Logano got into an accident with. Obviously, tremendous damage, not only on the front end, but the back as well. I just got confirmation they are going to a backup. Now, they do have a backup. They pulled it off the truck already just moments ago. I was told earlier that if this team had to go to a backup, it's going to take all day tomorrow to swap over parts and pieces and get this car where it needs to be. And as you see, they're already looking at things. They know that this car is the one that will race in the Daytona 500.
Thanks, Jamie. So, A, he had a fast car. B, he had so much momentum from winning the Clash deflated.
Yeah, I mean, it's super frustrating. Nobody wanted to have to go to a backup car, especially with all the work that they're going to have tomorrow. But Paul Wolf, I have all the faith in the world that he'll give Joey just as fast a car for the 500 as he had today.
It was a fast car. You know what? This time is for all of you guys at home. 100,000 cameras from the Clash coming up next. We'll see you tomorrow.
The first of 2 races.
Still 2 back, 2 behind you, the 120 on the top lane.
It's got a fire-breathing drag under the hood. And it looks cool, right?
Brad Keselowski gets his first dual win.